It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Get ready for a ride at Wet and Wild. It is Wednesday. We've got Schefter. We've got Carpenter. We've got NBA draft stuff. I got my man Matty Ice to the right.
Yep.
Swimming in his own aquarium over there is TLC. I am Anthony Rothman. We welcome you into Rothman and Ice. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
I got a
feeling
question
good.
for you.
Yeah, what do you got for me?
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Big question for you.
I'm interested. Okay.
Got a couple things
I
brewing here.
think I know where this is going.
Well, you may. I watched.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one, but I know that among sports fans, baseball, regular season baseball especially, kind of just
it's a
slips
grind.
under
It's a lot.
Listen, you and I like it. We play fantasy baseball. I bet on baseball, and it's somewhat relaxing when there's nothing on. I don't know if that was the great slogan they want to go with. You think MLB will adopt my thing? It's somewhat relaxing when there's nothing really on.
I don't think that's what
I think
Rob
that's
Manfred
probably what
wants.
you want to go with. But I will tell you, I watched that game last night, and when I went to extras, and obviously you have the big advantage. Home team has the big advantage with the runner starting at second. But when you were down, who knows? Ellie legs out an infield hit, and then it's on again. And being down 3-0 and all of that. And the only reason I bring this up is not because of their record and not where they are in the standings, and I don't think they're a division winner. But they're now one game away from sweeping the first place New York Yankees.
I like it.
And I was wondering if that has enough weight for you to come back to the party. You dismissed them.
Yeah.
You're done with them and all that. And now they've won. They've gone on this nice, epic little win-loss streak, which is heavily weighted to green dubs. And I just wanted to know, will this have any meaning if they take down Freed tonight?
Is officially print the shirts season.
Or are we just enjoy the vacuum of it? Just being in the vacuum of a potential sweep of the Yankees at home.
That's where I will be.
Okay.
Come tonight. And we got 7:10 first pitch. It has been fun. It's been a fun ride. As you laid out, man, it's been 3 wins in a row. You go back into that Minnesota series combined with what they did in Detroit. They won, what I believe, 3 or 4 in a row there. So some pretty good things happening.
Winning 1-run games, winning extra inning games, scoring runs.
It's some good vibes right now, but big picture stuff, AR.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the letdown. But this, no doubt, look, measuring stick series, you get Aaron Judge in the gang.
To pop
to
out
GABP.
with the bases loaded.
I get it.
One of the most dangerous hitters in baseball, if not the most, and his average with bases loaded, the amount of grannies he's hit. And you get him to pop up.
But every time, AR, I take the bait with this baseball team, my baseball team, they hurt me. So until I get a consistent run of
Talk about the pain.
8 out of 10, 10 of 15.
I think you said
something
15
in a row. Then I would say print the shirt. But right now, I know it was good to see Chase Burns, the rookie. We mentioned him yesterday.
How about that leg licorice whip he's got? I like that move.
Is electric. First inning, striking out the side that included Aaron Judge. So, no, it was awesome, man. You get a walk-off win. Gavin Lux does his thing at the plate, brings home the guys to win it. And now here you are, 27 outs away from sweeping the New York Yankees.
Yes.
But they have a measuring stick week. We're within a measuring stick week with the Padres coming in this weekend. So, no, man, look, I'm not going to deny that this is fun.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go crazy.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Right now. Now, I will say, 2026 Chase Burns NL Cy Young winner, print the shirts. I'll give you that. 2026.
Well, don't do that to him. You already did it to Hunter, and he's injured.
He's got hurt twice.
Come on. Don't do that.
I never learned my lesson. I never learned my lesson.
That was my question.
That was good stuff, man. You know what else is good stuff, ARs? We're giving away some goodies today because winner will receive a family 4-pack of tickets to the Good Guys 27th Summit Racing Nationals, July 11th through the 13th at the Ohio Expo Center. Check out over 6,000 of the country's coolest hot rods, muscle cars, trick trucks, customs, and more on display. See which rides take home the crown of the Good Guys 2025 Classic Instrument Street Rod and PPG Street Machine of the Year. Passes are good for one of the days. For more information, visit goodguys.com. And again, we'll give away a 4-pack of tickets today, so stick with us.
Okay. The other thing is I'll update. So the poll yesterday that I put out at the end of the show that'll carry through the end of this show, that if you took everything you owned and I forced you to do this, and I forced you have to pick one bet that you'd feel the most comfortable with. And the two that I offered were that the Ohio State football team breaks the losing streak against Michigan on the road in Ann Arbor this season, or that Jake Diebler and the boys make the dance.
Just get in.
Just get in. You don't have to advance.
Right.
I changed it from advancing to just get in.
Yep.
And remember, this is everything you own. Part of this is emotion. And I understand that if you wanted one to happen, forget about betting on it. If you just wanted one to happen, I know that, of course, it's probably 98%
football.
To football.
Yeah,
you want to snap that streak. So I know where your emotions are, and I feel like sometimes that's where the money follows. The money follows emotion. So it's really hard to divide this. And I asked a couple of people yesterday what they thought, and the majority were coming back football, that they were more confident that this football team will go into Michigan and snap the streak versus the lack of trust and faith they have the basketball team over an entire season would get into the field. And I understand that, partially because I think you know the talent on the football team. You also know the basketball team has talent. You just don't know whether they'll come together as a team. Transfers coming in. They got a great core. I mentioned it yesterday. The minutes and points they have coming back is close to tops in the country. As far as what Jake can do with these straws that came in stirring the drink and try to find a way to get this team into the dance, the pressure will be on to get there. But I understand why, if you felt like you wanted to put everything on the football team, that would make you sleep a little better at night, despite the 4-game losing streak to them. And right now it is, as I predicted, even better than I predicted, more overwhelming to the football team. So we'll update that.
What's the percentages as we speak, AR, on that poll?
89.6% football.
So it's a landslide. It's a landslide.
I had 75-25, and then I upped it at the end to we're probably looking at 90 based on emotion, and that's where it is.
And I just think the basketball part of this equation is, well, yes, I see the vision of, look, Bruce Thornton's back. We know what he is. Dude's an absolute monster and a great guy to lead your offense and lead your team, and just all those things we know Bruce does well. And then you look at what's probably going to be a leap for two guys in Royal, who, look, you look at what he did last year and you see the vision, you see the potential. And speaking of potential, there's a ton of that baked into Mobley Jr. in his game and what he can do in year two. So I really think, while we talked a lot about removing, unfortunately, Meechie Johnson from the equation last year, what that did, I think, for Mobley Jr. this year will pay off in a big way with his experience. And so we just know, AR, that they got to get the bigs together. That was a big issue.
So tell them what you said yesterday
last year
during the break when I said to you, hey, I really like these bigs with skill. Like, they're not just stiffs, like bigs with skill. Yeah. And do you remember what your response to me was in the break?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
I'll tell you what you said.
What did I remind me?
You looked at me and said, that's what I was told last year.
Honestly. What it was.
Yeah.
And look, I took the bait last year. I don't know if it was the coaching, the players, the combination of both, whatever it is, it just didn't work. And you look at Sean Stewart coming in from Duke, and you look at Bradshaw coming in from Kentucky, and it's all the big brands, the big recruiting stuff. And for whatever reason, we did not get what I thought we would get, and the inconsistencies down low all
Bradshaw
year.
Missed some time.
Well, he missed some time, but even when he came back here, it was kind of like, okay.
I agree.
There was a lot of meat left on the bone last year, I just thought, from the big. So that's just going to be a huge deal, because we know the style of play that it takes within this conference. I think out there on the perimeter, they're really going to do some good things. But until I see the consistent rebounding and the presence down low from the bigs this year, I'm going to be in wait and see mode. But I do think they've done some good things to get things in order on paper the best way that they could this offseason. But you're talking a couple years in a row where within the conference, this Buckeye basketball program has been below 500 and has not been in the dance. So that bar, my expectations are fairly low for the Buckeye basketball team, just based off what we've seen over the last few years. But there's no denying that they got dudes over there.
Yeah. So let me sum it up. We're not going to get caught up in wingspan. Like, we're just not.
Right.
Like on paper, we're not going to get caught up in that. I do think these guys are big and they have skill, and there'll be a lot of motivation, and the core will be angry and hungry, and you can add every intangible possible. But we will find out about the strengths as a team when they get going. So it's a landslide right now, and I understand it. We will talk. By the way, the other thing I wanted to mention real fast, maybe you can start thinking about this. The Game 7 ball is up for auction. Okay. Thunder Pacers.
Thunder Pacers.
Yeah.
It can't be going for anything crazy, I wouldn't think.
There wasn't a game-winning shot.
No, it wasn't a game-winning shot, AR.
It's just a ball that was used in Game 7.
Right.
How is that? They say it could get up to $50,000.
That feels appropriate to me.
Does it really?
Yeah, that's pretty light.
An unsigned game-used Game 7 basketball? Unless you're somebody with big pockets that's a big fan of OKC, which that's understandable.
Yeah.
And then maybe you get it signed by SGA or something. But I thought 50 was a little high.
You thought it was high? Okay,
Yeah.
that feels okay to me, AR. If this was, let's say, a Lakers-Celtics finals, Game 7 basketball, then I'd be like, there's some intrigue there with the history of both those teams and that rivalry itself. But, yeah, no, Thunder, Pacer, Game 7 ball, it's not moving me much.
Yeah. 50 G I thought was a little high. All right. And I was starting to think about like some stuff I would like to have sports-wise. We'll sprinkle that in along the way. Up next, Aaron Rodgers speaking again. Is he in it for the right reasons, though? I think we have a little contradicting analysis. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer update. See your Kroger Pharmacy for details.
This is the Cincinnati Reds Down on the Farm Minor League Report, brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. The club's #1 prospect continues to impress. Chase Burns, the Reds' #1 pick in the 2024 draft, baseball's 2nd overall, picked up his first win in his 2nd start as a member of the Louisville Bats on Thursday. The right-hander went 7 innings in a Bats win over the Yankees' AAA affiliate, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits with 7 strikeouts. Burns started the season at High A Dayton, was promoted to Chattanooga after 3 starts, and joined Louisville after posting a 6-1 record for the Lookouts. In 13 starts this season, the 22-year-old has a 7-3 record with a 1.77 ERA. Over 66 innings, he has 89 strikeouts. In Chattanooga, first baseman Ruben Ibarra posted his 2nd consecutive multi-homer game on Wednesday, becoming the first Lookouts batter to accomplish that feat since 2016. Ibarra leads the Lookouts in home runs with 9 and RBIs with 35. The 26-year-old had a big week last week against the Biloxi Shuckers, hitting 3 home runs, a double, and 8 RBIs, all behind a .368 batting average in 6 games. The Down on the Farm Minor League Report is brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put their financial strength behind you. Visit westernsouthern.com.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
No one knows better than a mom what's right for our kids. But with so many apps and devices, protecting them feels harder than ever. My name is Emily. My husband and I have 3 kids and we live in Strongsville. Ohio needs to act and put parents back in charge by passing a common sense law to require app stores to get parental approval before children download apps.
By requiring parental consent and age verification in the App Store, parents will have a simple, secure, and reliable way to choose what's best for their own kids. That's why Ohio's Fraternal Order of Police and the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation both support this common sense approach.
With one clear place to approve the apps they use, Ohio can put parents back in charge.
Tell your state legislators to pass the App Store Accountability Act now. Learn more at owlr.org. Paid for by Ohio Women Lead Right.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another hot summer day ahead with our feels like in the triple digits in the air temperature in the mid to low 90s. We'll see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies with a chance of showers and thunderstorms developing the second half of the day, some which could be on the stronger side with heavy downpours and gusty winds. For tonight, partly cloudy with overnight lows in the mid 70s, and then for Thursday, a tad bit cooler with our feels like still in the upper 90s to right around 100 degrees. Chances of thunderstorms develop yet again for the second half of the day. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Like trying to snap a picture of Bigfoot. Nobody has ever witnessed Maddie eating a carb. This is Rothman and Ice.
I think if I could have Herb Brooks plaid sport jacket, Miracle on Ice 1980, and just throw that on every now and then.
Okay.
The bench-worn plaid jacket.
Yeah.
Game-used memorabilia, I'd probably bore you with that stuff. You know, like if you give me the Jordan shot against Utah, if I get that jersey, I get that ball,
the shoes
that
from
would
there,
be, the shoes
any
like
of
that would be cool.
Yeah, I see the vision.
The tennis guy in me from way back when. If you could give me Borg's racket that he won the 1980 Wimbledon with, beating McEnroe, in the fifth set.
Okay,
I would maybe take that. Just having something that game used, but I just started thinking like that Herb Brooks jacket is just so iconic. In the biggest upset in the history of sports, I would take that.
I would want anything Ohtani has done. Like Ohtani
as an investment now?
Yeah.
Okay.
From this point moving forward, like Ohtani, I don't know, the bat from his first home run in Major League Baseball, any of those milestone marker achievements for Ohtani, I think will be very valuable in time.
The bat's the way to go.
Yeah,
not a jersey, not a cap, not gloves.
The first jersey he wore in Major League Baseball for the Los Angeles Angels. If I could get you that, do you think that's going to have any value in time? No?
The Dodgers holds more weight.
But this is his first.
I know.
First jersey he ever wore. You're no doubt right with what you just said.
Think it has to say Dodgers.
So you think you got to have some Dodger stuff? Okay. I think I would still stash that. But I would like to rack up some Dodger things as well with Ohtani, because I just think with what he's going to do.
I'll give you a funny story real fast. And I agree with you. Ohtani's probably the one to attach yourself to. So at my charity golf outing last year for Homeless to Home, the wonderful shelter in Marion, Ohio. And so I was able to obtain, and thank him very much for this, and my friend Mark Stetson and Jeremiah Smith signed a pair of gloves.
It's a pretty good player.
Buckeye gloves. Not just practice, nothing. Just real gloves with the Buckeyes on them. And he signed them. Now, he hadn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
All right?
Just all the hype.
Just the hype.
That's all it was at the time.
And I had him at the outing in the silent auction. And Scotty Vegas was there, and he wanted them. And they were going to go for, I think at the time, I may have put a minimum bid on them of, I don't know, $150. You know, I didn't want to just let them go for nothing. And I think they wound up going for 300, which now feels like something incredibly cool to have, right?
Yeah.
It may be Scotty's biggest regret. Like, for a guy that makes that much coin
in the betting world.
now to think that he let it go for 300 and he could have tacked those babies up or put them in a acrylic something box and just had them forever.
Yeah, that's got to be.
And he
eaten,
might have a pair of his first gloves.
Yeah, it's got to be
at Ohio State, and he might turn into an NFL Hall of Famer. You never know. Or at least an Ohio State Hall of Famer at the bare minimum. He's already probably in.
Right.
And the fact that every time he sees, he's like, it may be my biggest regret.
Yeah.
So the no decision is always worse than the wrong decision when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because you'll never really, at the end of the day, miss the cash. I've always been asked, like, how much would you, we did this with Augusta. Like, how much would you pay? And that's a different question. But, you know, people hear how much it costs to play like Pebble Beach or Whistling Straits or TPC Sawgrass or whatever. And it's, believe me, it's all relative to what you can afford. But when you break it down to a lifetime, like $500 over a lifetime, because you're not going back and playing those multiple times. I don't even think I'll ever get back to Pebble. Maybe I will.
Probably one and done club.
Probably. Check the box and then go to another bucket list course. When you think about it, all of the, over my lifetime, the $55 throwaway rounds that I've played at Public and all across the United, wherever, like you think about that and you add those up, wouldn't even be close to the experience you'd have of playing Pebble Beach for $500. It's probably $700 now or more. Who knows? But the fact that he let those gloves go, because we're talking about memorabilia, for $300 now is pretty awesome. Or awful, depending on which way you want to look at it.
From his side of things, it's definitely awful. That's for sure.
And I don't know if I can get another pair for the big man. Pap says Tigers putter from 2019 Masters. Last major? Okay. The putter, though? Wouldn't you want the putter from Torrey in 08, like the one that he made the putt to tie Rocco?
I think J. Pabs is headed down a right road. I think the surprising nature of that Masters win for him, though, just holds so much weight. Because there's a lot of people that thought he was done. Like, he's not getting back to the top of the mountain.
You know what?
Let alone a major, let alone at Augusta. So I can understand where J. Pabs is at with that.
I'll tell you what, Pabs. I'll tell you what holds a little more weight, if you're still listening. Let me get you the 9-iron that Elon cracked him with. Maybe that's the club to have. That probably holds more weight. If you had the 9-iron that was probably over the mantle that she grabbed and then chased him down the street or whatever.
What if I could get you
took a nice inside-out swing that night?
What if I could get you the fork and the knife he was using at Perkins?
No.
How much value? Do we have a little situation at Perkins?
The spork that he used at KFC or the
no, man.
You know how much I miss those bread bowls.
They got them for you at Panera, I think, if you're interested. Hop on over to Panera.
As Tiger once said, nothing beats Perkins. And I'm going to go with old school.
Tiger was saying that for a bunch of different reasons.
All right, so there you go. We'll try to find out where that 9-iron is. It just cracked him.
Shout out to Jay Patch. He's the commissioner of our fantasy football league here at the Fan.
Yes, Deloitte and Touche himself. We pull the order. Aaron Rodgers. This may have to carry over a little bit, but do you have Orlovsky first? Play what Orlovsky said about Aaron Rodgers and why he came back.
I don't believe Aaron Rodgers plays this year unless he truly felt that team could be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I agree that I don't see them as that. Can they get to that? One, the offensive line would have to play much better. Two, we know they had DK Metcalf. Pat Freiermuth's a very young and emerging tight end. Somebody else is going to have to step forward as a pass-catching threat. They're going to have to run the football really well, and then their defense is going to have to play better. And then also, can he stay healthy? Those are a lot of question marks that, if they're all yeses, it's a dream season for both him and the Steelers.
He was also saying that he came back that he wouldn't have come back if he didn't think the Steelers could win a Super Bowl. I disagree. I think he came back to a competitive team with a respected coach, an offense that can rely on the run game, Arthur Smith, and the fact that it's a standard of organizations just way up there. They could end his career with the Steelers. And more importantly, that he could make peace with his ending. Hopefully a non-injury ending and a chance to win some games and a chance to prove himself that he could still be one time still incredibly good. You and I had I thought, a very good debate yesterday about which game was most important to him. You said the Packers at home, that's the one he needs to win. I think if he plays well in that and doesn't win, I do believe at this point in his career, an aging superstar, that if he could outduel Lamar or Josh one time at this age and feel like he got the best of an MVP, that to me would be more important to him now to say, I dueled the best at the end and came out on top. That it wouldn't be the GB part of it, even though he definitely wants that.
Yeah. The emotion's going to be sky high, right? When Green Bay comes out of the tunnel and it's, Jordan Love on the opposite sideline and a guy he seems to have a good relationship with. Jordan Love still speaks highly of Aaron Rodgers and all those things. So you're right. I hear what you're saying. You get 2 matchups against Lamar, 2 matchups against Joey B, and the 1 matchup against Josh Allen. Like, that's what you do it for, no matter where you're at in your career. Like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers or if I'm Pat Mahomes, when I see those other guys on the other sideline, like, this is what it's all about, is to test myself and obviously test ourselves as a team to see where we're at. I think last year what we saw from Pittsburgh, with that fall off dramatically with their offense, those last few games of the year, where it's the Philly game, the Baltimore game, Kansas City and Cincinnati. I mean, you're talking 13 points, 17 points, 10 points, 17 again. Like, I think he's going to provide more of a secure feeling on offense, but more than a feeling, productivity is going to come along with that because of how smart he is, everything that he's seen. I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of distraction stuff going on with he and Mike Tomlin not seeing eye to eye. Like, there was a lot of examples last year that obviously he and Robert Saleh weren't on the same page, right, with the whole minicamp comments that were out there. And then we had, remember that odd shove between Rodgers and Robert Saleh where he went in for the hug, and then I know Robert Saleh talked about his cadence and just all these weird things. The relationship between head coach and quarterback is so important, and I think that's going to be pretty good for the Steelers this year. But I'm with Dan Orlovsky on the football side of this. AR, I don't know if they got enough juice. I really don't. And for a guy at his age, can he lift up the Calvin Austins and the Roman Wilsons of the world and make them really good players? I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at them taking a swing for an Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, maybe somebody like that.
What could make him change his mind and actually play more than this year? We'll ask Schefter in 2 minutes. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Hey, look, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
You know what I love the most about your store?
What's that, common man?
The way you treat people. You get to know your customers. That's why they keep coming back. No sleazeballs around. Just good, clean boys and girls selling jewelry.
Stop in and see the difference for yourself.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. It's where Columbus gets engaged. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Were they yelling Scheffler or Schefter? Who knows in Cromwell, Connecticut? Equal cheers for both. He had my dream job, I guess, for a day or more. He's our friend Adam Schefter, ESPN Senior NFL Insider on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. My man, your golf broadcasting debut at the Travelers. Give me a post-round report on your experience.
I believe Dottie Pepper and Trevor Immelman's jobs are safe for now, but I did love it and would love to do more of it. And getting the opportunity to spend time with Rory McIlroy and Keegan Bradley, who went on to win the tournament that day, was an unforgettable experience. I love what I do. 35 years covering football, great job, blessed, privileged, all those things. But I think anybody who does anything for a long period of time, every now and then it's refreshing and invigorating to try something different. And I love golf. I love watching golf. Like, I am obsessed with it. And you can't watch more golf than I do on the weekends. And so PGA Tour Live with ESPN Plus was kind enough to invite me to spend the round with those guys. Had an incredible day with them. It was something I won't forget. And, it was, look, I can't analyze golf technique and swings like the other people, but I understand basics about the game. And to be in the company of those people was an awesome thrill,
Yeah, situational-wise, you're fine. You can tell what a challenge of a shot or a lie or where this guy is or what he's dealing with. What was your biggest, when you talked to the producers and things like that before the broadcast, did you get some kind of marching orders? Were there something that they wanted you to do, or did they give you kind of the freedom to just kind of be yourself and do what you want to do? Yeah. Or did you also have a fear of anything? Were you nervous about a certain aspect of it?
No, I wasn't nervous because I was walking with Robert Dameron, and I was just trying to kind of stay out of the way and not do anything wrong. I didn't want to get in anybody's way. Do anything like that. That was a concern of mine. But we had outlined some things where I was comparing some PGA Tour players to NFL players, how they might have compared. And so we did that during the course of the broadcast. And that worked out pretty well. And then, the idea was just to have fun. Like, it was not hardcore. Like, some people are like, why? Why so serious? Why is Adam Schefter? Like, it's the opening round of the Travelers Champion. It's a signature event. But you know what? Sports is about having fun. That's all we tried to do, is have some fun. They were kind enough to invite me to do it. I was honored that they did. We're not trying to reinvent golf broadcasting coverage. I understand that. I understand all that I don't know. But I was fortunate to have this up-close view and see where the balls were and see how the players reacted and feel the wind and be a part of it. And so that was very cool, and really enjoyed it. And we'll see. Maybe one day I'll get the chance to do it again.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you got that experience, Shefty. Before we brought you on, man, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers and just this new scenario that he's in Pittsburgh and whether or not he'll be around next year. And there's so many branches off the Rodgers tree right now. It's pretty intriguing. Yeah. But I want to zoom out from Pittsburgh and ask you this. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on J.J. McCarthy this year up in Minnesota. And there were some questions, right? Like, hey, are they going to roll with J.J.? Do they want to bring back Sam Darnold? Would they be interested in bringing in Aaron Rodgers? How real was that? Did it ever get real from Minnesota's side of things to where they said, we want to offer Aaron Rodgers a contract? Did it ever get that close, or is there just a lot of belief in that building that J.J.'s their guy?
Never got that close. There is a lot of belief in that building. There were conversations with Rodgers. They never got overly serious. It was just kind of like, I think the interest was more on Aaron's side, to be honest. He recognized the type of team the Vikings have, the type of coaches they have, the type of players, receivers they have. And I think that would have been appealing to him. But the Vikings, they want somebody to compliment JJ, to push JJ. And I think if you bring in Aaron, with all due respect, somebody like that's probably threatening to JJ. That's not what you're trying to do. And so I don't think that at this point in time was their intent in talking to Aaron Rodgers. They were talking to Aaron Rodgers because they were curious if it played out, if JJ started slow during the spring and worried them, concerned them. But they're fully behind JJ McCarthy, and I think they really believe in JJ McCarthy.
What in your mind would make Aaron Rodgers play another season after this? Just hypothetically, play something out in your mind, a scenario that he would actually come back, and then would the Steelers even want him back? Like, what scenario would make this not his last year?
Well, I think the scenario would be that he comes out and finds the fountain of youth and plays so well, and the team does well enough that he decides he wants to give it one more go. Now, I'll just say this. On the Pat McAfee show yesterday, he sounded like a guy who was expecting this to be his last rodeo. Like, it doesn't sound like he's going to play beyond this year. It sounds like to me he can't wait to get out of the public eye. And love football so much he's going to do it one more time. But after that, you won't be seeing him very often. He's going to disappear. So the scenario would be that he goes out there, plays incredibly well, feels incredibly invigorated, loves it there so much. They want him back. He wants to be back. And they decide to run it back for one more year. But I don't think that's likely. But if you're asking the scenario, that would be it in my mind.
There's going to be so many eyeballs, Shefty, as you know, on the Browns quarterback situation here in a few weeks when training camp gets rolling and all those good things. Your gut feeling on how many quarterbacks they will keep this year, because the playing time is going to be just nuts to see how Kevin Stefanski handles that. But going into the season, what's your gut telling you on how many guys they will keep?
Well, I think most of them just 2 or 3. I know people have brought up 4. If all 4 guys are impressive and they can find the roster space in other positions, then you can always do 4. I just think that's probably the least likely scenario. 2 and 4. But I think 3 also is something that I think would be very much in play. That to me, with 3 is logical.
We lose him? Shefty, you there?
No, you got me.
Okay, we got you, man.
3 to me is very plausible.
Okay. I know you're big into fantasy football with us, and I know there's some people, you get to this pocket of the calendar, and you're starting to look around the corner a little bit to where, we're post-draft, post-free agency, and all those things, and saying, okay, who are some people that, might be some risers in the fantasy world this year? Shefty, who's a player or 2 for you that you're like, okay, I like what they've done this offseason. I wouldn't mind having this guy on my fantasy squad this year.
Oh, I think there's a lot of guys that's early. There are some guys generating some training camp buzz already. The one thing I think, if you're not going to get Brock Bowers or Trey McBride, I think you could wait on tight ends. I think you could wait on quarterbacks. There's a lot of guys right now who are out there. Manny, I'll get you a list of sleepers, okay? Like I do a fancy column. I don't think we're ready just yet, but the rookie running backs are going to be appealing.
Yeah.
Some of these wide receivers will be appealing. And we'll see how it goes.
A guy I was thinking about a lot, Shefty, and a team I've been thinking about a lot is Atlanta and the Falcons. Because I know there's some people out there like, you get Penix in there with that arm talent, maybe that can open things up. And maybe Drake London can be one of those guys that consistently, Shefty, can turn into a force for them. They're just an interesting team with, Cousins still lurking in the weed, but I know there's a lot of excitement down there about Penix.
Well, listen, I think that Drake London is going to have a huge fantasy year. I'd have no problem, in the teens drafting him and taking him. Drake London will be a good pick. Bijan's going to be a great pick. And Michael Penix later on. I got no problems with him either.
Would you trust Christian McCaffrey if you're picking up there in the top 3?
I'm a big Christian McCaffrey guy. I took him last year with the top pick against my better wishes, better judgment. I cautioned people. I just wasn't feeling it, but I still couldn't resist it because he's so good and they're so good. And I believe in him, but that's top 3, no.
Yeah, no, I think he all of a sudden now becomes a value pick if he starts sliding him. If he starts sliding at the end of the first round, which he very well could. I kind of look at Tyreek Hill similarly. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he's such a game breaker, and my tiebreaker's always been, how many times is this guy going to get in the end zone? But do you feel similarly about Tyreek Hill?
I'm not a big take veteran guy. Like, veterans typically get hurt. Tyreek Hill is unbelievable. And when he plays and when he's healthy, he's going to be incredible. And that's who he is. But is he going to be there in week 13, 14, 15? I mean, he might be. And if he is, I'm going to regret passing him up. But I tend to shy away from veteran guys, like, you know, the guys in their 30s. Those are usually not my fan. Now, I would make exceptions. Last year, I took Terry McLaurin, and that worked out great. So it just depends on where you get him. Am I reaching for Tyreek Hill? No. Would I have any problem taking him? No. But it would have to be in the right spot.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, I think they've all of a sudden, those two names have turned into, if they fall in your lap in a value situation, you would grab them, but you probably won't reach. All right, my man. Congrats on everything, and we'll talk again soon.
Guys, have a great week. Enjoy the NBA draft tonight. We'll talk next Wednesday.
Thanks. Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We will come back, Maddie. One quarterback calling out a rival's fan base. Is he on target or not? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, explains why he banks with First Bank of Central Ohio.
Anytime you're dealing with a local bank, it's about being able to pick up the phone and talk to real people. That is a huge pro. You know, when you get into these bigger banks, that doesn't happen.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, I think I invented something. Does it solve a problem? It solves a big problem.
Get Eco.
ECO. Heating and cooling companies are telling people your furnace and AC isn't worth fixing. You need to replace it with a whole new system.
You invented a solution for that?
I invented a way to fix those systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
That's a great invention. How does it work?
Step 1 is to pay Eco to fix it.
I thought you said you'd fix it for free.
Step 2 is that we give you back all the money that you paid us, up to $1,500 when you get Eco to replace it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What if your repair keeps my system running for several more years?
That would mean you got all those extra years for free.
Paying Eco to fix your AC system is like putting money in the bank.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.com.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
He shoots, he scores! It's a great time of year to be a fan, but the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. Maryhaven is here to help with in-person, virtual, and group options. Learn more at maryhaven.com.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Join the Fan and 10 TV on Friday, June 27th from 11 to 6:30 to kick off the Beat the Heat Fan Drive. Purchase box fans and drop them off at the 10 TV studios on Friday, June 27th from 11 to 6:30. The Beat the Heat Fan Drive is sponsored by Newman Roofing.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev. The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
I thought that was an interesting answer from Schefter about Rodgers when I asked him what's the scenario of Rodgers playing more than a year. And he said, plays well, build on it. So during the break, I was thinking about this, Matty. Let's say the Steelers go 9-8. Rodgers healthy, plays pretty well, throws for 4,000 yards, 3,500. I don't know, you know.
TLC would love 4,000. You get 4K, you're cooking.
And he may not have to. They may lean more on the running game, whatever. Who's their quarterback next year?
The interesting part of this scenario that you proposed is the amount of draft capital that they have next year, because they have a pretty strong amount of picks going into 2026, and I think it's 2 or 3 third-round picks. In total, it's right around 11 to 12 picks. So they're one of those teams, along with the Browns and some other teams, and the Rams, I believe, was a team that picked up an extra first-round pick at this year's draft, where they're going to have the ability to move up to grab a guy. And it's supposed to be a strong draft class at quarterback next year. I think if you're a Steeler fan, you want this to be one and done. I think you want it to be one and done. See how much magic he's got left. If it doesn't work, we turn the page and we can probably identify our quarterback of the future. But he messes around and throws for 4,000 yards. Now, some of those could be empty calorie yards and all that stuff. Who knows? But you get 4,000 yards from him. I think, based off of where they were last year without any really explosive playmaking through the air from the quarterback position, they're going to be a tough out. I think they'd be a tough out if he's playing at that level.
The problem with trying to get the future quarterback is that, you could trade and get somebody off of it or move up so you could get, but I don't sense there's a can't-miss dude next year. I don't sense that. Aller, Klubnik.
Well, the guy that everybody's saying is can't miss may not even be in the draft next year. Arch Manning may go back to school.
Right, but if he doesn't, who could they convince?
Everybody has who they like. There's a lot of Garrett Nussmeier out there. People really like him and what he could turn into this year. The guys that you mentioned, Lenore Sellers, his skill set, quarterback for South Carolina. I think when we sit here today, there isn't that guy. I think it's the collective feel of the class that I think is reminding some people of what we just saw from Jaden Daniels in this past draft class that looks to be pretty strong top to bottom, and we'll see what J.J. McCarthy can bring to the table. To your point, AR, doesn't look like there's a Andrew Luck type of guy in that class, but it does feel, for the people that really cover this thing all the time, that next year's group of guys is a lot better than what we just got in this draft.
And I'm with you on that. Maybe Steeler fan is fine. One and done. He has a decent year, but they don't know what to do because no one's rooting for their team to technically lose. If it happens, you lean into a tank, that's fine, but he's not tanking like Aaron Rodgers won't, and they won't. So if you're looking at 8-9 or 9-8 and he plays well, I'm just thinking he might be that guy that wants to be courted again. Oh, would you play one more year for us? Now, he didn't sound like that, and you'll hear it now. Which soundbite do you have, TLC, on Rodgers about making peace with this is it?
Oh, well, I can play just exactly that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a one-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. Like it's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
Peace, love, and understanding, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. I'm with him. It feels like that's it, unless it ends in a weird way that he can't predict right now. So all I was thinking about was, it most likely is. You probably put this 90% that he'll be done through injury, bad performance, or just being done.
And
right. Or making peace with, I had a good year, I'd rather go out now. Because you come back, you risk another bad year.
Even if that happened, it's not going to have any effect on his legacy. All this is just extra icing on the cake. When he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's going to be the 4-time MVP guy. It's going to be the Super Bowl winner. And all of those things that he's racked up, that's what this will come back to in time. Clearly, this guy still loves to get out there and play with the guys and play at the highest level. And like he said, you play with a Mount Rushmore program around the NFL. That means something. It means something. And so for Aaron Rodgers, you pair yourself now with one of the most respected head coaches in the sport. You've got a very talented wide receiver to work with in DK Metcalf that I think will bring you some comfort when you're Aaron Rodgers and knowing that this is a guy that I can probably count on week in and week out to get busy. And you look around the landscape of the AFC, and it's crowded at the top. It really is when we talk about elite quarterback play. But I bet in Aaron Rodgers' mind, he probably thinks that you protect me and I can still give you some of that. I'm in wait-and-see mode when it comes to Aaron Rodgers delivering at a high level week in and week out. But the options that he had, or the lack thereof, when it comes to options this offseason with teams that he could pair with, there wasn't a team outside of Minnesota, and that didn't sound very realistic. We just got done asking Schefter about that. Like, outside of Minnesota, where else were you going to go that was going to bring you any type of football confidence in a real way? The Giants weren't ready for that. Aaron Rodgers knows that team isn't as close as Pittsburgh is as to being a threat to some of the top teams in the AFC. So this marriage makes sense. It makes sense because it is a short-term thing. I believe it'll be one and done. The Steelers can move on, figure out what they want to do next year, and Aaron Rodgers, I think, can go out on a pretty solid note because I think what they're going to prove week in and week out is that, look, you're Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, these top teams in the AFC, like, we're going to be a thorn in your side, and we're not going to have a quarterback that you're not going to have lack of respect for, I think, the way that teams did down the stretch with the way Russell Wilson looked.
He's one of those guys that also said he's going to go into hiding after he retires. Like, basically, he's done. Okay, maybe after his career is over, he'll make peace with. He doesn't need to be on McAfee. He doesn't need to be a commentator. Doesn't need to analyze anybody else or young quarterbacks. The only guy who really likes analyzing is self-analyzing, him and the media and all that. He loves that. There is confirmation he is married now, right?
He confirmed that himself. He has not told us, AR, who this lady is.
No, and he shouldn't have to.
He has every right to do that. But he did confirm, I believe, the first day that he was there for mandatory minicamp, that, he is he's out of the streets. He's no longer a single man.
Yes, he's married to somebody who doesn't want to be a celebrity because they're married to him. He flipped off the paparazzi the other day on the beach, apparently, which is fine. He then walked it back like, I thought it'd be a good picture. And then there was an article that I read that said even Rodgers' family was said to be questioning whether the wedding even took place. And then Rodgers ripped into the rumors in this tirade on ESPN, like how sick the society is, and he's had public relationships, and, well, listen, he dated some very high-profile people, an actress, race car driver.
Yeah, Olivia Munn and Danica Patrick.
Yes, and then Shailene Woodley.
Right.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah.
And so he's maybe getting to the point where one and done in every aspect of his life is good.
What if he just came out and was like, I'm married to Kim Kardashian? That if she was the wife, they kept it hush-hush.
I don't think she is interested in not being a celebrity. This is amazing.
I don't know. After everything Kanye's put her through, she might want to keep it hush-hush. Kanye's been, woo-wee. Interesting cat right there.
1 year, $14 million with the Steelers. Probably one and done.
That's right.
TLC. You get to this point next year. They're 9-8. He plays well. What would you like to see happen next year?
I don't know. Because, and here's why. I'm not sold on this upcoming draft class. We have a lot of names, but 3 of those guys, you mentioned we don't have the can't-miss guy. I'll tell you why we don't have the can't-miss guy. Because Aller, Klubnik, and Nussmeier were all eligible to come out this year and didn't. Because they aren't can't-miss. So it's just going to be same time next year with them. And by the way, even if one of them has an unbelievable season in college football this year, we're 9-8. We're picking like 15th, 16th. So whoever really rises to the top of that group, we're not taking them anyway.
Well, there's that's where the draft capital could come into play, though, if you're picking in that window where you mentioned, because you guys do have pretty strong draft capital to make a move if a team's willing to move off that spot.
Yeah, but that's going to require, if we're going to go way up, like 15-3 or something like that, that's going to require like 3 first-round picks to do so.
Well, that's why I keep bringing up the depth of this class, right? Because I'm with you guys that maybe it isn't as strong as everybody's telling us it is, but the Steelers may look around and say, we may not have to go from 15 to 3. Maybe we can go from 15 to 10 and get a guy there that we like.
Yeah. I like your I don't know, though.
I know. Look, it's not good radio.
Gee, Mr. Hand, will I pass this class?
But
Mr. Spicoli, I don't know.
It's their fault.
I'm going to leave
not
that
mine.
for all of our listeners.
It's their fault, not mine.
I agree.
They've put me in this position.
Sports Center update here, top of the hour. And back to Tress on the meaning of Michigan. Is it still everything? You'll hear from him next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
This just in from the Lindsay Honda Newsroom. It's our big anniversary sale. 0% for up to 60 months has been extended on all new Hondas. Drive a new 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive with 0% financing.
Lower your rate, lower your payment.
Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas when you buy now.
With so many Hondas, why would you go anywhere else?
Shop the big, the beautiful Lindsay Honda now. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. So did you jump in on Awaken 180's Lose 40 by the 4th challenge? Well, if you did, well, a huge congratulations to you on hitting a 40-pound goal in less than 2 months. That deserves some serious celebration. Speaking from experience, I dropped double digits my very first week on Awaken 180, and in just over 3 months, all 70 pounds were gone. Total game changer for me, and the results came lightning fast. Now, if you haven't jumped on board yet, there's no worries. There's still plenty of summer left to lose your 30, 40, 70 like I did, or even 100 pounds or more. I'm not saying you're going to drop 40 pounds next week, but if you have the same week one results I had, you'll definitely be on your way. Set your sights in August. Think summer barbecue, golf, the beach. Every bit of it fits into your new Awaken 180 lifestyle. Lose weight, love summer, and thank me later. You can start today at awaken180weightloss.com, the official weight loss program of summer.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We're about 10 minutes away from first pitch in Iowa as the Columbus Clippers continue their series with the Cubs. The Cleveland Guardians battle the Toronto Blue Jays tonight up at Progressive Field. Gavin Williams makes the start for Cleveland. Max Scherzer for the Blue Jays. First pitch is at 6:40. The Cincinnati Reds look to complete the sweep of the New York Yankees at 7:10 this evening. Brady Singer versus Max Fried, the pitching matchup. Coverage on ESPN Columbus gets underway at 6:40. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8. The first round of the NBA draft tonight at the Barclays Center. The Dallas Mavericks are on the clock. They're expected to take Duke forward Cooper Flagg with the first pick. The Edmonton Oilers have traded forward Evander Kane to the Vancouver Canucks for a fourth-round pick. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, and always online at rcdrv.com.
The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating!
This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice.
97.1 The Fan is asking Central Ohioans to step up and help their neighbors stay cool this summer with the Beat the Heat Fan Drive in partnership with 10 TV and Life Care Alliance. Many of Life Care's clients cannot afford air conditioning, and they have medical conditions that are exacerbated by extremely warm temperatures. Join us for a lot.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. There's an almond attack for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Was it an almond?
No, actually, you know what that was?
Yeah, because
blueberry skin.
Microwaving something.
That was the blueberry skin that got me right there.
Should we take you down to the juicing room?
Man,
and maybe figure that out? Maybe roll you down there?
Let's be TV people. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Join us live on Friday.
Here, hand that sheet of paper over here.
On June 27th at the fire station in Westerville at 400 West Main Street as we kick off the 2025 Beat the Heat Fan Drive. Bring a new box fan and help someone in need. The first 100 people who drop off a fan will receive a pair of tickets to the Cardale Jones softball game at Huntington Park on July 19th. We will see you on Friday. For more information, visit 971thefan.com. Again, that's 971thefan.com.
Gonna roll Maddie down to the juicing room.
That was tough. Sorry about that.
Squeeze the juice.
My bad, man. Those blueberries were
before
no
he
joke.
explodes.
That was one of the worst ones you've ever had.
It was tough. I could feel it creeping up on me. The
I
sentence
sensed
before.
it. Yeah, I sensed that.
And then it just dunked on me and took me out.
You know what Rothman's really good at? Fighting through coughs. I've noticed that. You're really good at fighting through a cough and keeping it all the way through and powering through it.
when I get sick, it's the weirdest deal. I'll eventually get somewhat better, and I'll start to ride it out. Whatever it is, just a bad cold or whatever.
Sure.
So coming off the
Robitussin,
you called it the
Claritin.
U2 flu or whatever I had in Vegas, and then the Chicago, the wedding after the memorial.
When you go out of town, things get strange. It gets strange.
Well, if I have a comment for that, may not be wrong.
Oh, man. Doing something strange for a little piece of change, huh?
Meeting some strange?
That simple.
So, but the one thing that sticks around is this just dry cough. Yeah. It just lingers. And when you breathe in and you want to talk, it's there. So thank you. Like mid cadence, I've been.
You're a pro's pro, man.
Trying to cover it for a few days.
Pro's pro.
All right. So we had Tress on Friday. By the way, a tradition unlike any other is that I think you'll never connect.
I don't think we should.
No, and I don't think at this point you're not, because Scotty filled in and he looked at him right before the show and said, "Are you Ice?" So we couldn't have it live.
Matty, the Open was playing, and he looks to Scotty and says, "Are you Ice?"
Are you Ice?
Yeah, we almost had it again. We almost had it again. And to TLC's credit, at the very end of the show, he played the entire thing from 2 years ago. And
there you go.
So
we welcome you back. Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Iceman out today, Jeff Thidoff in. I'm Anthony Rothman, and we're at the Gigi's Drive for Dogs golf outing here at Cumberland Trail Golf Club and the Cumberland Trail Bar and Grill in Pataskala. And one of my favorite people I've ever had a chance to cover here in my 3 decades at Ohio State, and it's a man who guided this program to a national championship, 6 Big Ten championships. You trying to add 10 more years to my life here? 3 or 4, Rothman. I wasn't sure. No, we're closing in on 30.
Okay.
Not 40.
Right, 4 different decades.
That's right.
4 different decades.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the Rusty Stops thing. Yeah, 4 different decades. You played 4 different decades. You're good. My man, Jim Trestle. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Nice, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so where do we start?
Ever corrected him?
I love your laugh in that. Because you're laughing because you know it's funny, but you're also like, I got to be a pro and keep this thing moving.
No, it's not that I wanted to keep it moving. I didn't want to correct him live on the air.
Right, I get that.
Like
It's Jim Trestle.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. And plus, it was Thidoff. Like, why? I'm not going to go to the end of the world for that. And
you already started his career anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what this reminds me of?
We needed a fantasy expert, and back in the day, and we hired Tito.
You know what this reminds me of, AR? And TLC hasn't heard this yet. It's when we have our guy Ian Fitzsimmons on in the fall. Love Ian.
Oh, by the way, this is good. Are you sure you want to say it publicly?
Yeah, because I think he would actually laugh if he heard this.
Okay, so this is funny.
So every time
you don't know this,
we have Ian Fitzsimmons on every Monday last year. Does an awesome job covering the sport and the NFL and all this stuff. And for whatever reason, when I ask him a question, he always says to me, Matty, you played. You know.
Oh, no.
Every time.
So I think in his mind,
he thinks he's a former Buckeye.
He thinks I'm a former Buckeye or a former pro, somebody that played football at a high level. So it's a running joke. We will never tell him. He may catch this and may put it to bed. But every time we have our guy
him to catch it,
Ian Fitzsimmons on, he always says, "Matty, you played."
Yeah. So if you're listening out there, just you're in our club.
Yes.
You're
Impromptu,
listening.
tell the truth.
So
Matty Ice, why do you think that he thinks you're a former athlete?
By the way, that is the tough question at the press conference. But here's what I'm telling you.
It's awesome.
So he either assumes, since I've always hosted
with a former athlete,
ex-ball players, Spiels, my boy Demetrius, like it feels like I've always
Bobby.
Like it feels like he must believe that I will only work with guys that are at a certain, like it's weird.
I would love to ask him, like in his mind, which player does he think I am? Like who does he think I am? Like
well, I don't
what
think
specific player?
I don't think he thinks you're a specific player. I think he just assumes you played. I don't know why.
But he has to have some guy in his mind.
I don't think it's a specific guy.
Oh, well, your mind did not go where my mind went.
I went where you went.
I know where your mind went.
But he goes, oh, he's not white.
The Iceman.
cooling off.
I'm like, does he think I'm Matt Forte?
No.
It has to be a
way.
I'm just
he thinks
saying,
you're at that level.
A football player with the name Matt.
He doesn't think it's your
He
forte.
doesn't. He knows I'm
Matty.
not Matt Leinart.
Matty,
So
if I was hosting with a 2-time Pro Bowl running back, I think he would know.
Listen, he thinks I played football at a high level.
So when we have these conversations, he completely alienates me. Matty, you know. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Matty, you played.
Yeah.
Like, no, Ian, I didn't, big dog, but thank you.
But we've never corrected him.
And we won't.
And why would we?
And I won't.
So if you're listening,
keep it a secret.
You're in our club.
Yes.
You're in the Rothman Ice. You're in the office, baby. Like, you're in our club, and we love you for it. And just let this kind of brew a little more. Let it happen this fall.
There you go.
The more it happens, the better.
Yes, so you got Tress thinking Tito is ice. And
or
now
just
we got
some indiscriminate white guy.
And we got
like,
Ian
that would be the tough
Fitzsimmons.
question to Tress.
And Ian
Like,
Fitzsimmons
here's the deal with Tress.
Yeah.
He looked at, in his mind, he believes Thidoff is ice.
Yes.
So the next year, I throw in another indiscriminate white guy, Scotty.
He's ice.
And he looks at, are you ice? The only thing he knows is that he can eliminate one indiscriminate white guy.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know. And the more he doesn't know, the better.
Yes, I agree.
The better for the show.
I would imagine how badly I would throw off Tress if I said, Coach, and I would call him Coach TLC. And I said to him,
no,
I'm Matty Ice.
It'd be weird.
It's nice to officially meet you. The look on his face, I would need you to record it. Because he'd be like, what the? What?
No,
But-
he's so good, so unflappable
Yeah, he's the
that
man.
he would. First of all,
It would have been great if you looked at Scotty Vegas and was like, oh, well, you must have a fill-in for Ice today because he was expecting Tito. Like, if he remembered Tito.
It's just, he didn't know the one white guy from the other. So he either was confirming, or maybe I don't know, maybe he did look different. Maybe in his mind a year later, he knew. It's
like you have a
great. He's
different
so great.
fantasy expert today.
It's so good.
It is.
And it's one of those things. Now, if we ever get Ian Fitzsimmons to, like, level up.
Do we want to know the answer to this
and
question?
say, no, level up
Yeah,
this
I do.
way.
Oh.
If he ever levels up and says, I really enjoyed watching you play, then you have all my freedom. You have all the freedom in the world to say, okay, joke's over. Who do you think I am, and where did I play?
Ian, were you watching my flag football highlights from my early 20s
Playing
and mid-20s?
intramurals, brother.
I played.
Maybe you said I played intramurals, brother. Okay, that's incredible. All right, so part of ins and outs next. You'll have to get to the Tress stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was really good, but
Sure.
that story about
No,
Ian
that makes my life easier.
that you didn't know,
I mean,
was good.
TLC, it happened.
It's happened a few times.
More than 5 times last year he did that.
Maddie and I look at each other during the interview
just
and
laugh.
just smile.
I will say, he may be listening right now. I know that he listens
I
to
hope
this
he
station.
does. And he's the best. And it's not like I'm trying to pull it over. I just feel
he's
like
our
it's
guy. It's just a funny joke.
I know that he listens to this
Maybe it's
station.
this. Here's what he might say. He might say, and this would be this is the way to either wiggle out of it or it's the ultimate compliment. The way we have our interviews, the way you talk ball, he's assuming you played.
Well, I'll take that.
Wow. You talk about a spin doctor.
That's
I'll
me.
take that.
Well, you know me. I'm his publicist.
That's right.
That's
Got my
how
back.
that would be.
We're teammates on
That
this
would
show.
be how I would be his publicist on this. Like, if I was Ian's agent, that's what I would tell him to answer. You know what? I just assumed because of all the technical stuff we talk, I assumed that you played.
There is such a limited pool of Matts that played football, too. Like, Matt Leinart, Matt Forte, Matthew Slater was a stud special teams player for the Patriots. It's not a lot of Matts that play football.
Really going to the mat for
Try
this
to
one.
Connect the dots at Uncle Ian's mind.
I'm trying to think of one from Ohio
What
State. and I
about
haven't been.
nickname? It's probably not Ohio
Matt
State.
Finkus.
Shout
out to our guy.
It could be. That's right. I think it might be the nickname. Maybe he thinks
you're Matt
we
Ryan.
call him Ice.
Ryan.
Well, that's where I'm going. By the way, where do you think the Ice came from? Everyone that's listening, the reason it was because Matty Ice was Matt Ryan, and we started calling him Matty, and that's when I went to Ice. It's all off Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
So he's probably assuming since we stole the nickname from Matt Ryan that he probably played.
My dad's asked me, he goes, why do they call him Matty Ice? I'm like,
That's why.
I think just because everybody named Matty has the nickname Matty Ice, there's nothing more to it than that.
I can't change it now.
You know what? I'm going to put a question about Matt Ryan in the
I'm going
Instagram.
to change it to Matty 8-Ball.
That could be really misleading.
That's right. There's a story behind that. Yeah, it was a very interesting story.
Yeah, Matty Ice is at Radio Row going to bed at 8 p.m. What's he doing?
That's true, too, but he had a bad back.
Couldn't move. This is bad. Twice in a year. My back is cooked.
Said he hired a masseuse. Not a masseur, a masseuse. Come back with ins and outs. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Get blockbuster savings at Coughlin Ford. 5-time winner of the Ford President's Award. Get employee pricing on new F-150s. $10,000 off MSRP on new 25s or $13,000 off new 24 models. Shop the fastest growing Ford dealership in Central Ohio. From America, for America. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Based on YTD sales and ground stock. All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. Must finance through Ford Motor Credit. Not all will qualify. No security deposit required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N7725.
This 4th of July, Bob's Discount Furniture is bringing back 4 for the 4th. Spotlighting 4 must-have trendsetters for $7.99 and under, like my farmhouse chic Calvin bedroom, Play-Day sectional with pop-up sleeper and hidden storage, Consumer Reports recommended treasure mattress, and my 5-star Betty dining set in 4 gorgeous colors. So stop in or visit mybobs.com and celebrate 4 for the 4th. Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 18-ounce containers of blueberries or 12-ounce containers of raspberries. Right now, they're only $3.77 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill, hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Common Man here. I want to talk to you about my buddy Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. It's rare that a business comes along and offers you such great quality, service, price. If you or someone you love or like, or even strangers on the street tell you they need a jeweler, tell them you got a guy, and that guy is Bob Capace at Worthington Jewelers.
I'm Bob Capace, and I'm your guy.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Morning Juice is live on YouTube. Weekday mornings starting at 6. Or on demand whenever you want it. Yeah, whenever. Bobby Carpenter's at your beck and call. And Tito's there too, to clean the toilets. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another hot summer day ahead with our feels like in the triple digits in the air temperature in the mid to low 90s. We'll see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies with a chance of showers and thunderstorms developing the second half of the day, some which could be on the stronger side with heavy downpours and gusty winds. For tonight, partly cloudy with overnight lows in the mid 70s, and then for Thursday, a tad bit cooler with our feels like still in the upper 90s to right around 100 degrees. Chances of thunderstorms develop yet again for the second half of the day. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
Quickly, Scott enjoyed the analogy of spending the money. He says, congrats, you sound like an economist. Say Pebble Beach is $750. That is 15 rounds at a $50 muni. So the relative price or opportunity cost of a round at Pebble is 15 rounds at decent munis. Hope my students get that concept just as quick. I'll use it as an example.
There you go. Professor Rothman.
Here's what I'll tell you. Not professor.
There
This
you
is
go.
as basic as it gets. And I learned it from my stepdad. If I ever had a question about should I do it, is it worth the money, he'd ask me two questions.
Yeah.
Is that money going to make you rich? And then he'd say, is that money going to make you poor? And if the answer is no to both, do it. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. All right, TLC, take us.
All right, well, piggybacking off of our conversation that ended the last segment, I don't know if you guys know that Matt Ryan has twin sons.
No, I did not know that.
If you were Matt Ryan, are you in or out on training both of your sons to be quarterbacks and sending them to different high schools?
It's an interesting proposal.
So they could
there.
both start and play and develop.
And get recruited, yeah.
I'm seeing the vision there. I think you train one of them, though, to be a wide receiver and one a quarterback and get the best of both worlds. And just, hey, the brother-to-brother connection every Friday night under the lights, this is all you're getting, Ryan to Ryan. You propose something that's interesting, though.
Now,
Like two cracks at it at
they're only like 10 years old, so
right. Who knows?
Yeah,
what this will look like. But no, I think I'd want to get one in that wide receiver room and one as a quarterback and take it from there. Two quarterbacks, two different schools. Hey, maybe that can work out.
Dad goes to one game, mom goes to the other.
One of the kids is like, hey, I got to
switch the next week.
One of the twins is like, hey, I got to get up 30 minutes earlier because my school's, farther away. The bus ride's farther away. Thanks, Pops.
Let me ask you this. Since they're twins, so they're twin boys.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that they're both going to be of similar talent? Does the DNA,
How about this?
Could one not have the quarterback gene?
I think you got to find that out.
Find that out?
7th and 8th grade, when you're playing for your middle school team, I think that's when you got to find that out and then make that decision heading into their freshman year.
And this is the twins part I wouldn't know. Brother to brother, you got a pretty good chance. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, you've got a pretty good chance. Huh. You train them to both be quarterbacks. Presumably they'll want to follow in Dad's footsteps. It would make sense if they both want to do it. You wouldn't divide the household by saying, break the pool cue and say, one of you guys is one of you guys I'm really sinking my stuff into. The other guy, good dude, love you just as much, but you're going to get a regular job.
Right.
And assuming that he stayed in Atlanta, there's a lot of good high school football in Atlanta. So you could easily find two big-time programs to send your two kids to. All right. Just wanted to throw that one out there.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I like it.
Are you in or out on Kevin Durant still having any championship juice left in him, as he was just traded to the Rockets a couple days ago?
I followed Maddie on this. Yes, with the right guys around him. Why not? I don't think you can just look at 36, 37 and think that he's done. But I'm going to ride with you. Yes. Championship juice with the right team? Yes.
It's still 25 a night.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're getting. And you look at the previous 2 stops prior to him going down to H-Town, there was a lot of, you remember the moving pieces with Kyrie and Harden in Brooklyn, and that was messy. And then you go over the Phoenix, and they're firing coaches, and the Bradley Beal thing didn't work out. I just happen to think there's really good structure there in Houston. You can throw the question at me, TLC, are those young guys ready to leap up into that championship run and win, a few rounds in the playoffs? Wait and see mode with that. But I think just the way they have things around Kevin Durant right now, as far as that roster goes, but also the head coach. Like, Ime Udoka's a heck of a coach. He really is. The stuff at the end in Boston, that off-the-field stuff that got him pushed out the door wasn't what you want to see. But where he's at right now as a head coach, he's one of the best. And they got guys on the rise. So I still think if they can get Kevin Durant into the postseason healthy, I think the Rockets are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
If you're telling me if I can still get 65 or more games out of him, or 60-plus games, and I still get 45% three-point shooting, 100%. And I think, by the way, I think those are very gettable. Give me 65 games at 45% three, of course.
And we'll use this one as a lead into Bobby here. Let's relive one of the more interesting moments from Jim Trestle joining us on Friday.
If you have good leadership, you have people looking at the full body of work. And yes, we didn't win the Michigan game, but you look at that full body of work this year, and really since he's been there, Ryan's done a great job. And, so it is a different world right now. But, if you really think about it, our last 3 national championships were after great suffering. Mm-hmm. Think about our seniors in 2002. They'd been 6-6, 8-4, and 7-5. They'd had enough. You think about Urban's coaching change, no bowl game, lost their quarterback, lost to Virginia Tech early in the year, lost another quarterback. Suffering does something for you. The suffering, with us losing the rivalry game, there's some real positive to everything not going perfectly.
So the topic is, are you in or out on the idea that Tress kind of jumped to the dark side a little bit and admitted that the Michigan game itself doesn't have the same value that it once did because of the new playoff format?
He had to, because they got the ultimate prize. They were the last team standing. I think if they would have fallen short, I think he could have balanced it a little more, but it made sense to lean into what I just said. The criteria is you're the last team standing. They were. They did something so dramatic, but they had to, and they did. I feel like also, since he was 9-1, and it's so rare, I pointed this out, Ryan Day maybe, he's got plenty of time to write it, he may be the only championship coach ever that has a sub-500 record against Michigan. Like, it may happen. But he did water it down a little bit, because when I just feel like, Maddie, there was another middle question. It may have been the favorite thing I've ever asked him on Friday. I said, when you came to Ohio State, if I guaranteed you 9-1 against Michigan, but you wouldn't win a title, or that you'd win a title and have an average record or sub-500 record against Michigan, which one would you have chosen?
Yeah.
You know how he answered it? Trestle-like. I've lived in the present. I can't go back and do it again. I didn't wish for anything. Yeah. And I should have pushed him even further. Like, no, you have to choose right now.
Yeah. To me, AR, the Natties live on forever and ever and ever. They do. And a program like this, though, right after that is what did you do against the Wolverines? Like, that holds a ton of weight, as we all know.
He did admit that it's always about that.
That's one of the biggest boxes that you can check here as a head coach and a player at Ohio State. I just think where Ryan Day is right now, he checked the ultimate box, in my opinion, but now you just want those little things to come along with it. Michigan's not a little thing, but compared to the Natty, in my mind, it is.
This may be the way I'll always put it now. It's a hell of a compliment to say the only way you can somehow sidestep a Michigan loss is by winning it all. That may be. That actually may put it into perspective for me.
Because to your point, AR, you lose to Michigan and you go on and beat Tennessee in round one and then get bounced.
It's all about Michigan.
Yeah, it doesn't hit the set. Yeah.
We'll come back. I'll ask Bobby the same thing. Carp's up in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text HOT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful Fed incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HOT to 42424. That's HOT to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Summer savings, Rich is backing it up. He has rates as low as 0% and leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 25 Honda HR-V LX CVT two-wheel drive? Lease it for only $259 a month. 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $30.39 down. And all trades deserve a sweetener. He's giving you an extra $1,000 for yours. See them for all the details. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Now open at Zumbizi Bay, the all-new conservation tower. It's the only place you'll find the Hive, a world's first water slide with wild 720-degree beehive spin.
Muscle Mayhem, a Midwest first with intense drops and twists.
And Captina Falls, a head-first racing slide like nothing you've ever seen. 3 slides, 1 tower, endless thrills. Conservation Tower is now open, only at
Zumbizi Bay.
Plan your visit today at zumbizibay.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, he's the man. Morning Juice, 6 to 8, 10 TV Plus. He's all over the yard. He's our friend Bobby Carpenter. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. My man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm just feeling like you need to get your clock integrity down. You're like Mario Cristobal over here late game, like trying to figure out what's going on.
Trying to build the hype.
This is
only for you would I build more drama and hype into it.
It's 2 days in a row, Bobby, where 2 former Buckeyes have dunked on us for being late in this exact same time slot, because Tyvus got after us yesterday for being a couple minutes late.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to know. Listen, Rothman, clock integrity is huge.
Time's a flat circle in my life.
There's your quote. You got it in already.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. I give you're coming out of Lancaster, the home of Rex Kern. A young Robert Carpenter gets a choice, not winning a national title at Ohio State, but going 4-0 against that team up north, or he wins a title and has no success against Michigan.
Okay. I like that you make it so binary. We're like, it's either or. And I heard you talking about pressing Ryan on this. And
Tress.
Or Tress.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you had him over at the deal. Yeah.
Yep.
Did he say he finally got to meet Matty Ice?
No, he didn't.
I wasn't there.
It's a tradition unlike any other. Matty never shows for it, but he thinks he's there. Any indiscriminate guy that white guy that I'm hosting with is Ice now.
Is Ice then?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm going to pull some guy off the street next time.
So here's the thing. This is what I said. I was on a couple times on Get Up with Greeny, and he asked me that same question. And I'm trying to think, maybe it was after the Tennessee win or maybe before that. I can't remember which. And I go, listen, I won 3 times against Michigan. And what's crazy now, that son of a gun, Schleichs, he was only here for 2 years, well, 3, but he got 2 pairs of gold pants, and we got a Big Ten championship. And then that sucker comes back as a coach, and he gets like 4 more pairs of gold pants, a national championship ring. Oh, and by the way, Ryan gave him one for this one for coaching those guys through the offseason, like up to the start of training camp. So I go, now you have more gold pants than me and more national championship rings than me. This is BS. But I told him, I go, I would trade. I have 3 pairs of gold pants. I go, I would trade one of those for a national championship. And I know that people think that that's sacrilegious and it's crazy, and maybe it's because I went 3-1. And so you have the ability to still give one away and still get it back.
Would you trade the other 2 for tats?
It's a great question. Are those tats I'm putting on myself, or I get to tattoo someone else?
Yes, that would add another level to it. Sorry, continue.
I mean, so I guess I wouldn't trade any of them for tattoos. I would say, and I don't know if I told you this. Maybe we talked about it already, where I said we had the draft. The inheritance draft, and I got my kids around. I go, why do I have to wait until I'm old and decrepit? I'm not going to be adding any other members to my family. And I put out all of my valued possessions: Big Ten championship rings, national championship, our gold pants, a couple of watches that I have, some other things that were kind of given to me. And I'm just like, all right, here's kind of things I have of value. And we did Rothman Classic, snake order fantasy. I go, RJ, you're the oldest, you get to go first, but the sweet spot might really be Cullen, who gets to the third, who gets to go both 3 and 6 or 4 and 5 down at the back end. And I did set some stipulations. I go, you can only take one of the pairs of gold pants, because then you can't take both and then try to leverage them for something else later. But they drafted it all. And you know what the first thing off the board was? The national championship ring. And I was like, okay, there it is.
I thought Colin might say, or you might say to, Archie, you might say to one of them, 5 long years, I wore this watch.
Well, and this watch was your birthright.
Your dad, the way he looked at that watch.
I mean, that's one of the best Christopher Walken scenes ever. And I don't know if I could, when I'll be old enough to watch that movie with my kids.
No, you can't. I hid this uncomfortable piece of metal.
The only place you could.
That's right. I give the watch to you.
Yeah, it's so I don't know.
So the national championship ring went first in the family inheritance live draft.
Yeah. I mean, so that and listen, it's not like my kids didn't grow up like Ohio State fans. I mean, they were very upset when they lost, and Dad, why do we have to lose to them? This is terrible. I'm like, guys, sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear, he eats you. And this is what sports is. I'm like, I know no one wanted to win this more than Ryan, and everybody felt really good about everything, moving forward. It's just, it's tough, And so I think that Ryan, and I heard you say he might be the only coach to win a national championship here and then not have a winning record against Michigan. I think that he stays around until he gets that done. I don't know when. I'm not saying he wants to leave, but much like Jim Harbaugh, he couldn't leave without getting something there. He has put so much into that I think that it matters so much for him that he'll want to get that done.
Earlier, Bobby, we were talking about Rodgers and what could be next for Pittsburgh, and then we talked about the guys that could be coming out next year in the draft as far as the quarterback position goes. When you look at, the Nussmeyers, the Sellers, obviously Arch Manning, Drew Aller, is there one guy that you're looking at I like what he's got going on so far? There could be a level up coming, and maybe he could be the QB1 or 2 in next year's draft. Who's that guy for you that you'll really be looking at week in and week out at the quarterback position in the college world?
I really like Sellers. I got to watch more of him, though. I probably watched 2 or 3 games against South Carolina, and they had a great defense. And, he battled against LSU, and they got some calls that, were a little bit rough. I'm really curious to see what happens with Beck down in Miami, Maddie, because, he was the guy, coming in. I think if you look at the Heisman Trophy favorites entering last season, he was supposed to be it. And then they kind of they struggled. They won. And they won the SEC, but you didn't really feel good about it. And he was not nearly as good as what people had hoped he would be. And then he leaves and goes to Miami. And so I'm just curious, almost like they kind of didn't want him. So I'm curious to see how he looks. And those are 2 guys that I will look at a lot and kind of see how that looks going, this year.
Do you remember the most mad Trestle ever got?
Yeah, 100%.
What moment was that?
It was on the bus going to Penn State when he said, "Excuse me, Mr. Carpenter, for the sake of this team, would you shut the bleep up?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that
So
was
it was
real.
more of an annoying moment than a football moment.
Oh, yeah. It had nothing to do with play on
I
the
was
field.
talking about a
It was-
football moment, like
it
at a
was
halftime or after a game. I was talking about how, whether he's number one on the I annoyed him list.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive thing by me. He's our lieutenant governor now, and I think I'm the only player that he ever cursed at. So
that is nice.
It's something.
That's unique.
It is unique. So
he always said, make them remember you somehow, right? Make them like you or hate you. At least they remember you. Like he's that guy.
He is that guy. Yeah. I listen. Tress is unbelievable. It's amazing. Is he never really got all that upset and during his time, like it was wild. And he had a quote. I don't know if it was on the All About the Team podcast that he was doing, but he's like, you have to wear the cloak of confidence as a head coach. And sometimes, he would leave it to our assistants. Like Mark D'Antonio, when we come in there, like Luke, make no mistake about it. Like there was some pounding of the whiteboard to where I thought that thing would crack, different things, some obscenities being thrown. But then when Tress would come up, it would just be like, all right, men, we know what to do. Let's go out and execute. And then we just walk, then you go out, and that was it. And so then you're like, okay, that emotion, you brought that back down to neutral again. So you're fired up, but you're not just like a blind dog in a meat house running around.
He read you guys back in the day, the Lion and the Gazelle.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big deal for him, right? Was that your running program?
So before the conditioning test, he said,
right.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes.
Yep.
It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or else it will be eaten. Every morning in that same jungle, a lion wakes. It knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle, or it'll starve to death.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. When the sun comes up, whether you're a lion or gazelle, you'd better be running.
This is the race of life, gentlemen. I was just talking to our boy Chick and Chick Harley.
Did you guys get some of those strawberry shortcakes you were telling me about?
All right. Late at night, Maddie, a mutual friend of ours, former player, we went on some late night runs when we were hungry. I don't know why this story, but it was a good one.
It was two dudes getting the strawberry shortcake.
He loved it.
At like midnight at a Walmart or Kroger.
I think it was Meyer on Summer
Meyer
Road.
together.
Yeah. All right. So, but I was talking to him, and he was talking about the Lions and the Gazelle story that he uses now, even for his players. So,
Coach, I talked to Marcus Freeman. It was like talking, like we were had personal moments, but then listening to him talk, I was like, it's just like Jim Trestle up there. Like all of those guys, there's some fickle, there's some it just permeates how they talk. There's some D'Antonio, but like it's all kind of from the same place, just kind of warped to their personality.
Good stuff, my man, as always. Thanks for making time for us.
I always make time for you, Rothman.
We'll see you
Even
soon.
that strawberry
shortcake. That's right. Or TCBY or wherever we went. Frozen yogurt.
Only the most romantic places.
It was a great summer. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
All right, see ya. Bobby Carpenter with us. As always, from the Morning Juice, listen to him on the stream 6 to 8, 10 TV Plus as well. We'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Athlon preseason all AMs. Who's making that list? You'll find out next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
When you can't see, you can't react. Too many railroad crossings have deadly sight obstructions that block drivers' views of oncoming trains. When you can't see the train, you can't react in time. These tragedies are preventable. Clearing vegetation and installing gates saves lives. Report bad railroad crossings at angelsontrack.org. That's angelsontrack.org. Because bad crossings kill good drivers. Sponsored by Angels on Track, aired by OAB and this station.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
He shoots, he scores!
No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Talking about guns might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Asking safety questions before a play date, like do you have pets, a pool, are there any unlocked guns in the home, can help keep kids safe. Learn more at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by Ohio Health and the Ad Council.
Common Man and Timmy.
Just got a text from 10 TV's Adam King, who says he's with me on pancakes 100%.
You feel
and now I'm starting to doubt myself.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Oh, I can't believe we blew a 5-touchdown lead.
Sure, but you got to feel like they were going to win for almost the entire game.
But I was about to buy playoff tickets.
So you were prepared for a good time. That's pretty nice.
It's the worst loss any team has ever had.
And you got to witness history.
Okay, we're done here.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Preseason lists, take them for what they're worth. It's fun hype. Makes you think about who might actually prove them wrong or prove them right. And what I'm talking about is every different organization. Listen, All-American status will be voted on by all sorts of different credible people that cover the sport. But Athlon named 4 Ohio State football players to its preseason All-American teams. First team, the obvious. Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith. The second team, they've got linebacker Sonny Styles and receiver Carnell Tate. Both of them could very much be household names. Carnell Tate almost is in a way, especially in the Big Ten. And then Sonny certainly could be. Who else could get on that list?
I started thinking. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead. No, which were you going defense or offense?
I was going offense.
Okay, and I'll give you a defense.
Okay, I like that. I was thinking about, and this is going to be tough because of the 2 names you mentioned as wide receivers, how much food will be left at the buffet line.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about Max Clare. And Max Clare, coming from Purdue, talented guy, highly productive last year in a system to where he was the guy, and he still balled. That means something to me. It does. And so now you look around the tight end landscape of the Big Ten. I think he can be the best tight end in the Big Ten. He's got that potential. You remove Tyler Warren from the equation. You remove
who won it, who was on the list last year,
right?
Was an All-American.
You remove Colston Loveland from this equation as well. Both those guys first-round picks at that position. Like first or second team, I think that's in play for Max Clare with the talent that I think he has. It's just going to be about the at-bats.
You know who the second team All-American tight end was last year?
Second team AP All-American tight end.
Or ESPN's.
Okay, and you're saying it was not.
It's going to be someone in Ohio?
Tyler Warren.
Oh, I know who it is. You're on it. It's the Browns guy.
It's the
Harold Fannin Jr.
It is the Browns, guy.
This flag thing that's going on.
That's right. It's Harold Fannin Jr.
The Browns guy.
Bowling Green.
BG.
Yes.
SU.
So it's a very good choice.
Yeah, the dude led the nation in receiving yards last year. Fannin Jr. did.
What would you think about Arvell Reese?
Okay.
I know that Sonny's on there now as a preseason.
Yeah.
But if he could be a star in the middle, I feel like he could rack up a lot. I feel like he already kind of looks to be that guy.
Yeah, he's going to be a dude. He really is. He has to probably finish first or second on the team in tackles, and then probably top 5, 10-ish in tackles in the conference. Probably top 5, I would think, in the conference to get to where you're potentially getting him to. But he definitely has
just
the
trying to
goods
come up
be
with
productive.
somebody.
No, I like that. I like
maybe
that.
Nobody knows about yet. Not here, but elsewhere.
I like it.
All right, so those guys are on the list.
Yeah, but the names that are on the list, as you mentioned, it's no surprise, especially Jeremiah and Caleb. The level up for Carnell Tate is going to be must-see TV, because if you get into a situation where you have a game or two the way we saw Jeremiah have against, Texas, I believe, was a team that really slowed him down in the playoff, you got to have somebody opposite him that can go. And I think Carnell is that guy. We've seen it already, but I think the maturity that we got from him last year on the field, you take that into the offseason with the talent that he has, man, that dude is going to be a special player. And I won't be surprised, not only if Carnell Tate is an All-American in some form or fashion, but if Carnell Tate finds his way into the first round of next year's draft as well. That won't surprise me.
He was active in some big games for sure.
Yeah.
And obviously had the touchdown barrage against Northwestern at Wrigley. But in the Michigan game, despite the loss, caught a lot of passes, was basically a non-factor in the two massive wins against Tennessee and Oregon. And then when they needed him against Texas, he was there.
He rose up.
Didn't have to be, wasn't a big factor in the Notre Dame game once they started blowing them out early. But that will be the key. And wasn't a big factor in the Penn State game. And the Penn State game was a tough game. So he's shown himself in some big moments, and now it'll be about being a consistent weapon for a young quarterback.
And there may be more opportunities for Carnell this year and Jeremiah based off of the run game. What type of punch are you going to get from the run game this year? Last year, you had the best duo in the country. One of the best duos in the history of this program, if not the best duo in the history of Ohio State history. So when you have two NFL caliber running backs, they have to get theirs too, which they did, and they took advantage of that. There's some questions out there for some people as far as, hey, can you really rely on a James Peoples, a Donaldson? These guys that we know are talented, but we haven't seen it week in and week out. Like, it's one thing to be on paper and be a dude, which those guys are. All those guys are over there. But we know the bar that's set, the standard that's set at that position in the history of this program. But coming off the heels of a national championship year with Quinshon and Travion just being so dynamic with what they do, these wide receivers may be asked to do a little bit more this year if that isn't the same case that we got a year ago.
That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. So many changes in this league, free agency-wise. And it makes me feel like these divisions could be big-time different heading into a new season. Is a certain division considered a lock as a top 5 division of strength? We'll analyze that next in the Deep Dive. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey friends, Beamer here. So did you jump in on Awaken 180's Lose 40 by the 4th challenge? Well, if you did, a huge congratulations to you on hitting a 40-pound goal in less than 2 months. That deserves some serious celebration. Speaking from experience, I dropped double digits my very first week on Awaken 180, and in just over 3 months, all 70 pounds were gone. Total game changer for me, and the results came lightning fast. Now, if you haven't jumped on board yet, there's no worries. There's still plenty of summer left to lose your 30, 40, 70 like I did, or even 100 pounds or more. I'm not saying you're going to drop 40 pounds next week, but if you have the same week one results I had, you'll definitely be on your way. Set your sights in August. Think summer barbecue, golf, the beach. Every bit of it fits into your new Awaken 180 lifestyle. Lose weight, love summer, and thank me later. You can start today at awaken180weightloss.com, the official weight loss program of summer.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with OnePlus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy a 4.00% APY intro rate until April 2026, 6 times the national average. Maintain easy access to your funds and secure financial stability. Don't miss out. Offer expires July 31st, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Clippers in Iowa right now taking on the Cubs, and it's not going well for Columbus. Bottom of the third, they trail Iowa 5-0. The Cleveland Guardians continue their series with the Toronto Blue Jays tonight up at Progressive Field. Gavin Williams gets the ball for Cleveland. Max Scherzer for the Blue Jays. First pitch tonight at 6:40. The Cincinnati Reds looking for the sweep when they take on the New York Yankees at 7:10. Brady Singer versus Max Fried, the pitching matchup. Coverage on ESPN Columbus gets underway at 6:40. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8. The Columbus Crew at home over at lower.com taking on Atlanta United at 7:30. Because of the heat, they are allowing fans to bring in an empty 16-ounce clear refillable water bottle to the game. The first round of the NBA draft tonight at the Barclays Center. The Dallas Mavericks on the clock with the number 1 pick.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. Coming up at 2:30, Kevin Sweeney, NBA draft for SI. And as you may or may not be aware, that you have an NBA draft that is going to be a lock for Cooper Flagg tonight.
Yeah, this is the draft starts at 2 tonight. It's one of those situations. I don't know when this happened, but they're doing a 2-night event. Like the draft is tonight and tomorrow, so they're trying to grab as many ratings as they can. But
why does it feel? Is it always a Wednesday?
Oh, I don't know.
It's weird.
I haven't noticed that. Maybe so. But yeah, the folks in the know, and Kevin Sweeney is one of those guys, are saying this is supposed to be a very strong draft that is going to be led by Cooper Flagg going to the Dallas Mavericks, which is just crazy how we got to that point. But yeah, that's where he's headed.
Yeah, right.
It's wild.
I know.
You got 2 teams in the top 3, that being the Philadelphia 76ers and the Dallas Mavericks, that are viewing themselves as legitimate postseason contenders if they're healthy, that are going to have 2 special rookies that they can pick at 1 and 3 tonight.
So on ESPN's Get Up this morning, I was listening to a conversation that they were having about, certain things. They were talking about Aaron Rodgers and whether, it would be shocking if, he played great or this or that. And then what got my attention was when they were talking about Cincinnati. And Greenberg threw out a question to Kimberly Martin, who's a reporter. And they do a segment around to her that's, would she be shocked if? And one of the questions was, would you be shocked if the Cincinnati Bengals missed the playoffs again? And we have her sound on this. Is this her answer?
It's a roundtable discussion about it, so it's multiple personalities jumping in.
Okay.
So we got Kimberly Martin, Bart Scott, and Andrew Hawkins.
Can't wait.
Okay. So
you got it.
So I'll set it up then. I think I could set it up because I watched it. So they asked her, and she gave kind of a generic comment about they have Joe Burrow. Yes, I would be. And a lot of people would have that take. But then I think I was looking at Bart Scott, and he was just, if she was a football player, he was ready to pounce. Like he was going to tackle her. He wanted to say.
He was ready to go.
What you and I have said recently, which is, what gives you the feeling? Joe Burrow had a Hall of Fame year last year. They didn't sniff the playoffs. Now their number 1 sack leader is not in camp, or won't, not yet. And then, or not under contract. He's under contract, but he's holding out.
Yeah.
And then you have Shamar Stewart, who's their first-round draft pick, who says, I'm 100% right for not being here. So what would give you the feeling, other than them changing the coordinator, because she kind of kept going back to, like a lot of fans are doing, or if they just be average, like just don't be trash.
On defense,
yeah,
correct.
Well, of course. Yeah, I mean, but here's the deal. Let's say they are a little bit better defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're automatically making the assumption that Joe's going to have the exact same year he had offensively, which may be a good bet and may not be. So that's the setup. Here's the little round table.
I think the pressure is on Joe Burrow. I think each and every year, last year he understood, I'm getting no help from the other side of the room. It has to be on me. And I think he's entering this season understanding the same thing. If you're going to make a case, we got to keep both of them, then I think Joe Burrow enters this year thinking Super Bowl, clearly.
Be careful when you let players start playing general manager because it usually goes the wrong way.
I mean, what more can he do than he did
But think about
last
if
year?
the defense just plays decent.
And that's the biggest.
football.
You need players. You need money to do that.
The difference between an MVP season and not is the defense playing well because it turns into more wins for Joe Burrow. Yes. Now, look, some of those numbers were ridiculous. They were playing from behind, though, because their defense was so bad. But for Joe Burrow, if the defense has even a little step forward, it should put them in position. But the expectation is that Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow take it to another level.
Off to a great start. Don't sign your first-round draft pick and you got a disgruntled start. Yeah, good. We off to a good start.
But if they did not sign Jamar or T, we'd be looking at them like, why couldn't they sign both of them?
It feels messy.
And it is messy.
Hawkins made a really good point there about the game script.
He did, because that matters. Nobody's taking anything away from Joe Burrow and his talent. We know how elite the guy is, but when your defense is letting you down time and time again, and you're having to grab that helmet over and over again because you're chasing teams, the way to, try to close the gap in a game when you're down is to throw. It's just the math. It's easier than it is to run and bleed the clock that way. So I'm glad Hawk brought that point up, but Joey B was pinpoint accurate with everything that he did a year ago. But there's just a lot of new on defense. And so are they going to have time to build enough chemistry in the coming weeks in training camp on that side of the ball? Because you mentioned, AR, the two defensive linemen that are not happy and disgruntled right now. It's also a new linebacker that has to step up in a rookie in Demetrius Knight, who you drafted in the second round, who is replacing a guy in Pratt, who is a fine player, but he was a vet that knew what he was doing. And so now you're going to ask a rookie in Demetrius Knight to pair with Logan Wilson and play high-end football, and a new defensive coordinator with a whole new system that these guys are having to learn. If this was a D coordinator that was around for a while and guys were injured last year and then they're coming back and everybody knows what they're doing, then it's like, okay, then I'd give them a little bit of grace, but they don't have the time for this stuff right now on defense because there's a lot of moving pieces going on right now.
Yeah, and I probably overstated it. They were close. It wasn't like they were, miles away from making the playoffs. They certainly could have. What would really scare me and what should scare Bengal fans is that you lost 4 games when you scored 30.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough. That is so rare to lose 4 games when you score 30 or more.
I know.
Then some of those are close games that could have gone one way or the other.
The 2 Baltimore games were absurd. Yeah. The way that those games.
And that is Baltimore. So I'm not saying they lost to any the bottom feeder. And the Hendrickson thing, my gut is he plays. I don't know how. I don't know whether it's just because he can't give up the money or whether they get an extension. But my gut is that he plays. If he doesn't, I don't know where your confidence could really be. You got a new coordinator, and I don't know if Al's going to be as good as Lou. Who knows? And then, and that's the stuff that we don't know. But yeah, they lost Hubbard to retirement. They're banking on guys that you talked about. Joe Asai, Sample, Stewart's not even there, and they drafted him first round. So I don't know where your confidence can really be because if they have, where your confidence could come from? If those games I just talked about, if they would have won 2 of those 4, they're in.
It's that, AR, and it's your belief in who the quarterback is.
I know, but
that's what it is.
He had that year last year.
I know, but I'm saying, AR, that's where people's confidence is and why they can be in the mix is because of them.
Here's the other thing, real quickly.
Yeah.
You could also, this is not something you want to count on because you don't have control of it. Steelers don't go 10-7. And you're you get some teams that regress a little bit and maybe come back to you. If you were asking yourself right now, you have to choose one. Bengals or Pittsburgh. You get one team. Who's making the playoffs?
Bengals.
I'm picking the Bengals. With the unknown of Rodgers, not that he's, I think he's got a high floor, but
the only reason why I'm pausing on this is because I know that Pittsburgh will be in the mix. I just know it. That's just what they do. But
if only one makes the playoffs, is it going to be Pittsburgh again? Just because of their history?
I would roll with you guys that it would be Cincinnati.
So if you take care of them, you're getting them twice. You take care of them, it's such a leg up. If you think that Pittsburgh's team, now there could be, listen, if Miami's better, if name another bottom feeder that could challenge. New England people like.
They may rise up. Yeah.
We're not, the Colts, I'm not really that worried about.
If Cam Ward is a dude, maybe. Tennessee, you got to put
3
some
wins to the playoffs.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it the last couple years in the league.
Then the other teams, I mean, listen, Denver is supposed to really be good again.
Yeah, who the Bengals get week 4, Monday Night Football out in the Rocky Mountains.
You win the key games. I'm not talking about like Buffalo and those games. Like I think I'm talking about the teams you're fighting for the playoffs for, wild cards, that kind of thing. If I'm going to make the assumption that your team, and we can get into the AFC North, we'll have plenty of time for it, because I don't even know if that's that strong this year.
It's the
Are they a top 3 division, Matty? I don't think so.
Well, real quick, not only is it the defense thing that we've identified, it's the getting off to better starts too that has put this team behind the 8 ball, because it was the year before as well where it's like, oh my goodness, it's clunky out of the gate. There's no rhythm there for this team, and this year, hopefully that does not happen. I think you have opportunities to catch a bit of a rhythm prior to what are going to be some tough games. I mean, it's Cleveland and Jacksonville right out of the gate, and then the 4 games after that are 3 out of the 4 teams coming from the NFC side of things: Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay, that are going to be really, really good this year. And then that game in between that is the Denver game. So they got to clean up early. Like, you need a 2-0 start, because the 4 games that I just mentioned, Minnesota, Denver, Detroit, Green Bay, the Broncos, Vikings, and the Packers are on the road. And so you're going on the road early on in the season against some squads, man. And so those first 2 games are huge for Cincinnati.
If they're not going to win the division, then really just taking care of the Steelers should get them in. It should, because you knock them out of the mix. If you think the Chargers are still going to make it, and you think Denver's going to make it, then you're competing with the Miamis, and then potentially this bad to the playoff teams like New England and the surprise team.
Yeah.
And you should not be beaten by a surprise team this year. Like, the Bengals have enough to make the playoffs. They take care of Pittsburgh, and you swap.
The NFL humbles us all, though, when it comes to our predictions, because I don't think any of us had on our bingo card last year the Bengals losing out of the gate to the New England Patriots. So you just never know.
Game 1 at home, no.
Right.
Bad turnovers.
Blindsided us all. It was horrible turnovers in that game, but they are, to me,
Joey not being maybe all there.
You got to start 2-0, because those next 4 games could go any way, in my opinion.
The Bengals were the only team in the top 11 in scoring last year to not make the playoffs, and they were 6th.
That's right. So let's assume they'll still be that good offensively.
Yeah,
their defense just got weaker, or it has right now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back, and a quarterback who obviously hates a rival's fan base, but you'll hear the reason next. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Summer's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Whether you're cruising to the lake or hauling your weekend gear, Germain, well, they've got the truck to help you get it done. Right now, get 2.99 APR for up to 72 months on the rugged 2024 Tacoma, or step up to the powerful 2025 Tundra, also 2.99 for 72 months. These summer savings, they won't last forever. So visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Are you looking for an affordable family car? Then the Chevy Traverse is for you. This month at McDaniel GM Superstore, you can get up to $3,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Traverse. Plus, qualified buyers can finance at 6.8% for 72 months. They are just a short drive north of Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the fans' YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another hot summer day ahead with our feels like in the triple digits and the air temperature in the mid to low 90s. We'll see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies with a chance of showers and thunderstorms developing the second half of the day, some which could be on the stronger side with heavy downpours and gusty winds. For tonight, partly cloudy with overnight lows in the mid 70s, and then for Thursday, a tad bit cooler with our feels like still in the upper 90s to right around 100 degrees. Chances of thunderstorms develop yet again for the second half of the day. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Maddie, Bet365 time.
Let's get into it, my man, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. They have a great new sign-up offer for all of you right now at Bet365, where all you got to do is bet $5 and you will get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. What do you got your eye on tonight, big dog?
You're talking me out of... Listen, I don't believe the Reds are going to sweep the Yankees, especially against Fried. The value's there. It's probably a game you stay away from, because if you want to bet the Yankees will avoid the sweep, you're going to pay a lot of juice to do it. Yeah. And if you want to take the Reds value, it's plus 175 to win the game. I'll tell you, plus a run and a half at plus 115 has me intrigued. Just don't get blown out. Lose by a run, but that's really tricky in baseball. The other one that I would go for is no run first inning, but
Murphy
to play a lot of value. So maybe I'd go Yerfy.
Oh.
That the Yanks get to Singer in the first and get a run.
Okay.
And then there's nice value on that.
You know the Nerfies always make me nervous because you're dealing with the best hitters.
That's why I'm changing it to the Yerfy.
Okay. I see the vision. I see the vision.
Let me get you value on that.
Yeah, what are you cooking up over?
On first inning on Bet365. So much good stuff here.
Yeah, there really is.
Can't find it now.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
While I'm researching this.
We've got Blue Jays and Guardians tonight. Max Scherzer, the OG future Hall of Famer, pitching for the Blue Jays. But the Hall of Famer on the Guardians side of things is Jose Ramirez. J-Ram, as you all know, is an absolute monster. Give me 2 total bases for Jose Ramirez tonight. Plus 110 is the juice on that. So I'm rolling with J-Ram, AR. He's going to touch a couple pillows. Plus 110 tonight.
Those aren't pillows. Minus 120 for a run in the first inning.
Minus 120.
You're probably not going to get one. It would only be the Yanks. Here's another fun bet in the Reds game.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk me out of this one. No batter to reach first base in the top of the first for the Yankees. Plus 225.
So the elephant in the room is
just 3 up, 3 down. No Ks, not worried about any of that.
Well, Chase Burns did it last night. The rookie.
He did. The Nerfy paid off last night.
With number 99 in that first inning, that being Aaron Judge, that scares me. And also, there's so many branches off that tree that could hurt you in a bad way. Or like Brady Singer could strike out a guy on a pass ball, and he gets to first base. There's so many things. Hit by pitch, walk.
Grisham, Rice, and Judge. Just get them. I don't care how you get them, get them. I'm going to do it.
Okay,
it's plus 225.
It's your money. You know, if you want to flush it down the toilet, have at it.
Like, not, sending something to the pawn store again. I'll be all right.
I got you. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. You must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Scherzer also hasn't started since March. He's been rehabbing an injury, so this is his first time coming back.
J-Ram, take it to the bank.
Josh Naylor just hit another home run for me.
How good has he been for the
And this is with a bad shoulder.
You want to talk about a bang.
He's batting .303.
Josh Naylor is about to get paid this offseason. Paid.
Man.
Heck of a player.
I know they're playing the White Sox, but still.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Still the big leagues.
Bears QB Caleb Williams has spent a year in the NFL. And the one thing he's learned is that the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers is still real, but it's a little different for him as far as when he has to go to Lambeau.
Green Bay, I mean, they suck, but it was after the game, after we won at Lambeau, 1-0 at Lambeau right now. So obviously trying to do the Lambeau Leap, and we actually tried to jump in the crowd where our fans were, and they start throwing everything at you, they push you off, and the Lambeau Leap, it's a real leap. It's not a little baby jump. You actually have to high jump basically, and then they're pushing you, mushing your face. I mean, that was probably that. And then I had one today. I was actually in a car, and I got ran down for 6 blocks in the car. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. 2 things. I understand it that, first of all, if you're going to try to Lambeau Leap at their field, you're going to get showered with whatever beer they're drinking.
Maybe some other stuff.
Maybe some others. Yes, some Spotted Cow. Shout out to the Elegant Farmer, Whiskey Paul. The Lambeau Leap, I think, is a pretty cool tradition. Is it the coolest in sports? Probably not. And I do think there are some people that have told me that opposing players doing it is a mutual sign of respect. I look at it as complete disrespect. You're doing it on purpose to take their thing and shove it in their face. I don't like when teams steal other teams' traditions. Like, come up with your own. That's, it's kind of their thing. I understand it. I'm not going to go crazy about it. The fact that he would say that they suck because their fans are showering us with beer when we went a Lambeau Leap at their field. You left beer on a vibrating bed. What did you think was going to happen? Like, that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going in to do the Lambeau Leap as an opposing player, you pay the price.
No doubt about it, you do. I completely agree with you on that. I love the dudes that do the Lambeau Leap,
how it happens.
In Green Bay. It's fun. It's entertaining to me. I love that we have a quarterback, though, in the league that is not shying away from a rivalry and actually talking about it, because it's rare, right? The quarterbacks are usually the guys that just keep it down the middle of the fairway more times than not. But Caleb Williams is leaning into history. He's leaning into the history of this division, and I'm totally here for it. It's going to be something to monitor to see if he does it again. We don't ever need another Malice at the Palace. That's an obvious statement, but I don't mind players giving it to fans on the road and chirping back and forth. As long as both parties keep it within the lines, we're good. But yeah, you're right. You nailed it. If you are a Bear, Viking, whoever, and you go into Lambeau and you want to hop over that wall, hey, good luck to you. North of the wall, you might meet the Night King over there. You don't know what you're going to get.
It's their stands. Either come up with your own thing or risk taking the beer shower.
Exactly.
First of all, what have we always heard? Fans, stay in the stands. You do not enter into the arena. Players, stay in your arena. You want to jump in with the fans? You get what you get.
What was it, season 2 of True Detective or season 3? I know Bobby used to love this line. You get the world you deserve.
That's right.
That season of True Detective was tough. There's too many moving pieces. Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell.
The ending's pretty brutal.
Who else was in that? The cast.
Well, Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn was in
Vince
that.
Vaughn was pretty good in a dramatic role. The ending's good.
Just the whole season for me was a letdown. But you know what happened was, we reached that high with season 1. With McConaughey and Woody, and they just knocked it out of the park. Everything after that was always going to feel underwhelming.
I love when I came in and I would say that quote, sometimes a good beating promotes personal growth. That was from that series.
Yeah.
All right, but you risk jumping into their stands.
Yeah.
That's fine. He can say they suck and their fans suck, and that's fine.
Right.
But I just don't steal their tradition.
No?
No. Or steal it and pay the price. You can't have it both ways.
How would you
can't
feel
jump into their stands and then complain what happens.
No, I agree with that. How would you feel about a college?
We're circled by our fans. You're in their stadium.
You're in their stadium. How would you feel about a college football program coming out to Enter Sandman? Does that work for you, or is that Virginia Tech's thing only? Can a team come out to Enter Sandman?
No, they shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Just like Ohio State shouldn't play jump around.
I think a team you can come out to Enter Sandman. It's just not going to get the same attention or respect that Virginia Tech's get. Jump around is Wisconsin's thing.
That's it.
In the Big Ten, I think all Big Ten teams should probably stay away from that.
There are about 12 schools that do the Mr. Brightside.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, remember Seven Nation Army? Like everybody does that.
You mean they play it to come out to it?
No.
No, that's okay, though. You want to just play it in the middle of a commercial break or a timeout? I think that's different than what he's saying.
It may be scheduled, though. I'm not sure, but some teams may do it, the transition from the third quarter to the fourth quarter, which is, again, a playoff of jump around. But I know Mizzou does that. Boston College does it. I think Michigan does it, so that's at least 3.
It's a good song. Yeah. Gets the fans into it. But it's different than what you're saying, which is a traditional thing.
I mean,
where the team is involved.
Virginia Tech coming out to Enter Sandman is goosebumps stuff for me.
Their deal.
When I watch it. It's great.
We'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend Kevin Sweeney, NBA draft expert for SI. And we talked about Cooper Flagg, but history is showing that he may not become the best player in this draft. We'll ask him in 2 minutes. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Colin Man here. Let me tell you something. I'm on these Germain inter-office emails. At Germain Lexus, during the month of June, they've challenged themselves to sell more cars than they ever have in 1 month. What does that mean? Well, I'm stupid, but to me, that means they're willing to deal, baby. And the Memorial cars are on the lot. The ones the golfers drive for the tournament are now available to you. I've been a Germain customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Your neighborhood Kroger pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/payer update. See your Kroger pharmacy for details.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
These two have a ton in common. Anthony loves hockey, and Matty's always cold. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, NBA draft coming up. Cooper Flagg is a lock, but is he a lock for this? We'll ask our man Kevin Sweeney, NBA draft for SI. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Kev, welcome back, my man. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Good. All right, so I'm going to give credit on this. Just credit because he said it. Fran Fraschilla said that, and he loves Cooper Flagg and Harper, but he said that history shows that the likely best player in this draft will be somebody else. And he would point out, because SGA and Halliburton were both drafted 11th, and you can go right on down the list. Do you agree with that prediction?
No, I think, Cooper's a little different just because he has such a high floor, and I don't think that the rest of this class necessarily has the ceiling outcome. When you look at the guys like in the 8 to 12 range, for instance, I think you see a lot of solid role players. I don't think there's necessarily stars in that group. Again, we're proven wrong more than we're proven right. It's an imperfect science, but I think Coop's floor is so high, and then the ceiling as he continues to evolve as a ball handler and playmaker, I think it's really what's exciting about him.
Kevin, there was a lot of reaction to Dallas getting this first pick in the draft when we were coming out of the lottery. So let's advance it a little bit to the fit for Cooper Flagg in Dallas, because that's probably a team that thinks that they can win at a pretty high clip. And I know Kyrie's a question mark right now with his injury, but just talk about Cooper Flagg going into Dallas with the talent that they have over there right now. Your thoughts on how he'll be able to fit in with that group.
Yeah, I actually think in a lot of ways it was the perfect landing spot for Cooper. Number one, because he has an opportunity to compete and win right away. One of the big things when I talked to people around Cooper that they were concerned about was the potential of you're getting sent to Utah or Washington and being in a place where in the first couple of years you have no chance of winning. This is a guy who's ferociously competitive and went undefeated in senior year of high school, has a dominant team for this season in college. He's just not used to losing, and I think that would have been really hard. And now he gets to go to a place where he can compete to win right away, and he can get kind of slowly brought along from high-level role player to star down the line. There's not this expectation that he walks in and it's immediately the best player on a team that doesn't have a lot of help around him. He gets to contribute defensively, contribute as a connector, maybe a third or fourth option offensively, and that gives him the runway to continue to develop.
Where are you on I told Maddie a few minutes ago, I really hope Giannis stays in Milwaukee, but where are you on that he will move this summer? And what are the landing spots in your mind?
Yeah, I will say I think the injuries to Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton may change the calculus a little bit if you're Milwaukee, just because the East looks even more wide open than it already did, right? And so I think if you're Milwaukee and you sit up here and you say, hey, yes, we may not have Dame Lillard. Yes, our core is flawed, but we have the best player in the Eastern Conference. We have a guy who's won a championship. Like, why don't we run it back and roll the dice? And maybe Giannis is a little bit more content to stay and not make a real push for a trade. I still think there's a strong possibility that he's on the move, whether that be to people talk about New York, potentially San Antonio, who has the assets. I think there could be a surprise team as well, but I think Milwaukee can take an opportunity to push the chips in a little bit here with the Eastern Conference looking weak next year.
With Indiana's run and not knowing, Halliburton and the response from the Achilles, I've heard a lot of people talk about who to look for now. And you just talked about Giannis, and I don't know if he can raise them to a playoff level. Like you talked about how thin their roster will become. But it doesn't come back to Cleveland when you hear these guys, these experts talk about it. It comes back to the Knicks. Obviously a new coach. Where are you on the Cavs returning the bulk of their 64-win roster, and whether we should be looking at them as the team in the East again?
Yeah, look, I think they'll probably be the favorite to win the regular season. I think there are probably some questions about the postseason, but I also think it's probably been overlooked, the things that went wrong, the injuries. This wasn't the Cavs team that started so hot by the end of the year. And, I think they're certainly a team that can take advantage of a wide open East. And look, you don't win 64 games by accident. This is a really successful group. This is a talented group with high level guards, and I don't think they necessarily need to shake things up so much. They could afford to run it back, especially if you're not looking at staring down Indianapolis and saying, "Wow, that team really had a number," especially if they won't have Halliburton.
So I remember prior to the Big Ten basketball season tipping off last year, there was some intrigue out there for a lot of people with Rutgers and what that would look like, right? When you have an Ace Bailey and you have a Dylan Harper and these guys that were big-time recruits. I want to ask you now about Ace Bailey, because Rutgers as a whole was pretty disappointing based off of what those guys were supposed to help Rutgers do. But now there's some people really questioning Ace Bailey and how he's gone about the draft process. Just fill us in on that, Kevin, and what you're hearing about what the league is thinking of Ace Bailey now after what's been going on here over the last week or two.
Yeah, look, I think Ace has always been sort of polarizing in NBA circles. He has such elite talent offensively, but still very much learning how to contribute to winning. You have to remember he's a guy that not only did he go to Rutgers and was in a weird situation with not a lot of talent other than Harper around him, a really poorly constructed roster. He played for an off-circuit AAU team. His high school team was not very good. So he's someone that I think people have felt like it's going to take a lot of time to help him learn how to play in structure, and so. I think that has contributed to his fall more so, fall being relative at this point, but, more so than some of the questions about his draft process. I know that's been a hot topic. I do think that it hasn't been handled maybe the most professionally. His agent, Omar Cooper, does not represent any other NBA clients. He used to run an AAU program in Atlanta. That's how he's connected to Ace. But I think there's also a world where it works out pretty well for him. I think what Ace really wants is an opportunity to go to a situation where he'll get early touches and early shots and set himself up to be a star and get that big second contract. And so whether that's falling to 6 to Washington like I have in my mock draft or maybe a couple spots above or below that, I think that may not be the end of the world for him, even if it means a slightly lower payday in year one.
You got a sleeper in this draft?
I really am a believer in Will Riley out of Illinois. Obviously, he played with another first-round pick in Kasparas Giakashonis. Really unique player, 6'8", slender, doesn't necessarily play a traditional style, but he's a dynamic shooter and has great feel for the game. One of the best cutters, I think, in this draft class. He's someone that I think will be available in the teens, and if you have the the patience, and you don't necessarily need someone who can come in right away and be a huge impact guy. That the ceiling is really high with Will.
All right, Kev, great job, man. You got a best bet tonight? Like, is there something like, and I'm not talking about Cooper Flagg going number 1, obviously, but I'm talking about like, pick 4, pick 5, or something that you think that you feel like I got a good feel for this now in the top 5, 6 picks. Is there something you like the best?
I don't know that I love anything, but I do think that whatever you believe happens with Ace Bailey, and right now I think he probably falls to 6th. That'll shape everything. If someone tries to go up and get him, that could swing the whole board.
Yep, well done. Yeah, he's the favorite right now, minus 150 to go number 6 overall. All right, great job, bud. Thanks for prepping us for it. Have a great one. We appreciate you.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks. Kevin Sweeney, NBA draft expert for SI. He was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, guys, fight back against that low energy. You've been feeling it. You think something's up. Could be low T. Go to the TRT experts at Low T Center. Take the test, get the results, start controlling how you feel and your health. Book now while the test is still free. You can visit fixmylowt.com, fixmylowt.com, and you should not live with the tiredness and the low energy. Really get your life back with testosterone replacement therapy at Low T Center. You'll get fast results there, and you got the leading experts in men's health. It's easier than ever now to just get in there, get the test. Like I said, go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Start feeling good, enjoy the summer, and get with the experts. Don't live with being a struggle bus every day. fixmylowt.com.
We got a prize to give away right now. Our winner is going to receive a family 4-pack of tickets to the Good Guys 27th Summit Racing Nationals, July 11th through the 13th at the Ohio Expo Center. 614-821-9710 is our hotline number. Earlier in the program, we were talking about memorabilia we would like to have from certain athletes or teams around the world of sports. Our fantasy football commissioner weighed in on what he would want. His nickname is J Pavs. What was the item that he texted AR about? 614-821-9710 is the hotline number. You get that right, you're going to get a family 4-pack of tickets to the Good Guys 27th Summit Racing Nationals.
And just because we're really nice, if they give you the other suggestion, not mine, but when I told Pavs, well, how about this in what he had picked? There are 2 different things. See, even you don't even know.
No, I'm looking at him to see if he knows.
I got it.
Okay. Okay, all right. Just making sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, he texted me something.
Or
and then
what Ice suggested in response to what Rothman suggested.
Oh, now we're really confusing him.
Yeah,
I'm giving you plenty of options, folks.
I'll tell you what, call up and name anything.
And you get it.
You might get it. Tell the truth next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Hey, look, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
You know what I love the most about your store?
What's that, common man?
The way you treat people. You get to know your customers. That's why they keep coming back. No sleazeballs around. Just good, clean boys and girls selling jewelry.
Stop in and see the difference for yourself.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. It's where Columbus gets engaged. Tell them Common Man sent you.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
What does summer bring to mind? Lazy days by the pool? Hot dogs on the grill? How about large, sweaty men putting work in to defend their national title? Yes, your summer home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
This just in from the Lindsay Honda newsroom. It's our big anniversary sale. 0% for up to 60 months has been extended on all new Hondas. Try the new 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive with 0% financing.
Lower your rate, lower your payment.
Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas when you buy now.
With so many Hondas, why would you go anywhere else?
Shop the big, the beautiful Lindsay Honda now. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Get ready to rock. Soft, that is. Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Yacht Rock Symphony, Saturday, June 28th, featuring all your favorite 70s and 80s super yacht rock hits on one stage with Ambrosia.
You're the biggest part of me.
Joined by John Ford Coley.
And I'd really love to see it tonight.
And Peter Beckett, the voice of Player. Don't miss this incredible night of hits, ending with a brilliant display of fireworks. June 28th at the Columbus Commons. For tickets, visit picnicwiththepops.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Now buy 4 windows, get 4 free. Plus a free entry door with a house of windows. Visit windownation.com.
All right, TLC, take us home.
All right. I'll tell the truth here. We'll start this out.
Yeah.
Matty Ice told me before the show, hey, there's some audio from Kevin O'Connor, who is, I believe, of The Ringer. Is that correct?
I believe he's at Yahoo now. Used to be at The Ringer.
Okay,
Covers the basketball, dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we have some audio from the Kevin O'Connor show. Basketball guy, NBA draft tonight.
Former GM?
No,
I don't know about that.
I don't think he was a GM.
All right.
But anyway, basketball guy, he was talking about the draft tonight. I completely forget what he was talking about, and I haven't heard this yet. So let's find out together.
Is there a trade in the East that would make sense? Like if Evan Mobley was on the table, I'm not saying he would be on the table, but if Cleveland was like,
on that note, Gambadoro did say to me on the podcast earlier that the Cleveland Cavaliers were one of the sleeper teams for Kevin Durant. That at least shows they have a willingness to take big swings. I heard that they offered Garland in that deal for Kevin Durant. Garland is not Evan Mobley. But to your point, if they were to think about something like that, they're at least, when exploring a KD deal, they've at least shown a willingness to think big and go for a big star player. So maybe they would. That's all I'm adding to that.
Are you cool with the Cavaliers floating around Darius Garland in hopes of landing Kevin Durant?
No. I'm more, from an age standpoint, I'm not, although they're pretty close. Maybe your answer probably will be different. I'm all in on the Giannis camp. Like, I
would much rather have Giannis. The thing that would scare me, if you and I were calling the Milwaukee Bucks, they're 100% asking for Evan Mobley.
That's exactly straight up.
That would scare me a little. I don't want to give up on that potential because I think he is going to be just unbelievable. He already is after what we just saw.
You wouldn't make that
this
move
year.
if they could trade for Giannis with Mobley?
No. No, I'd still roll with Evan Mobley and his two-way ability. I still think he's scratching the surface of what he's going to be. I would have done the Darius Garland or Kevin Durant trade. I would have done that. I would, because I think
they're that close.
Yeah, well, I also think too, like the whole basketball side of this, where you have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, two kind of point guardish guys with their skills. That cleans that up a little bit and gives you a no doubt sniper in Kevin Durant that I think would really work well. I mean, he and Evan Mobley at the 4 and the 5 would be awesome to watch. So, yeah, it's not surprising to hear that. I wouldn't have been mad at all if they would not given up on Darius Garland, but tried to remix what they do and get Kevin Durant in the mix with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. That would have been fun.
I don't want to live in Louisiana.
The fan poll today is...
That was Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
Body
And here, I'll play the one that leads into that.
Would you ever consider playing for the Saints?
No.
That one's even better.
It's the tone of the note.
Do you know who O's the Mentalist is? No.
I deleted that one from the board. I'll have to bring that one back. The fan poll today, will Cooper Flagg live up to the hype or will he be a bust? I'll give you a third option somewhere in the middle.
No, he's not a bust.
No. I don't know if I see LeBron, Tim Duncan, like those guys.
He's got a lot of skills.
But he's going to be a problem.
He's got a lot of skills.
He's going to be a dude, and he's walking into a really good situation in year one. A little crowded with all the bigs that they have, but listen, it's better than going to a team that's not going to be doing a whole bunch of winning. He's going to be a heck of a player. I don't know if he'll be a one-of-one guy in the history of the NBA with Jordan and LeBron and those guys. But
I'm with you on that part.
He's going to be a force.
Did you hear what Perk said about it?
Yeah,
he said if LeBron and Kevin Garnett had a baby, it would be Cooper Flagg. That's pretty high praise.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. But yeah, he is a special guy on both ends of the court. Heck of a defensive player, complete guy on offense. It's scary how good he can be.
I'm with you. I think that we get to the point where he's such a lock to go number one, and he is such a really just does so many things well.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on I can't get to
in the history of the league
superstar that way. But he is going to be. He's got a little kind of like that Luka vibe.
Oh yeah,
like where he could just do a lot.
Yeah, he'll be an aircraft carrier for that. Yeah, he will.
Are you familiar with this O's the Mentalist?
No.
Let me read your mind.
That's our guy.
No.
Time is pal, by the way. Shout out to T.
You guys just got done talking to Kevin Sweeney about the draft prospect Ace Bailey. And he's obviously been generating a lot of buzz because he was canceling visits. He wasn't taking visits. And, it's not the typical way that potential draft prospects go in any sport. Usually they're just excited to be there. They can't wait to find out who wants them. But every now and again, you'll find somebody who tries to handpick their destination. And Ace Bailey had a visit with the 76ers scheduled, canceled it. 76ers fans are freaking out. One 76ers fan who is the governor of the state of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, he's freaking out. Somebody caught up with him and he said, I'm worried about Ace Bailey. I don't know what he's all about. And so if you're the 76ers who hold the number 3 spot and Ace Bailey appears to not want to be there, the governor got in contact with you and told you, hey, don't draft this guy. We don't like this guy. Are you drafting him anyway if you think he's the best player available at number 3?
If a non-basketball dude who was just
the governor.
No, he's got nothing to do with it.
Stay in your lane.
He's just a Sixers fan. That's the only thing.
He's a scorer with size. I'm not, and he's 18. I'm not really worried about that he canceled a visit.
It's a bad look for him, but would you draft him regardless? Knowing
if he's that good, scorer with size,
man,
why wouldn't he want to be there?
It's messy. This whole situation
is such a high ceiling. I would have to roll the dice.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like I like Knipple, the kid from Duke. I think he's going to be a nice little player in this league. Yeah, Ace Bailey tonight is outside of Cooper Kupp. That's going to be the name to watch just because of the drama. All right, I wouldn't draft the kid. You don't want to be here? Fine. We'll find somebody else in a draft that's supposed to be pretty good, too, at his position.
All these guys think they can just control every aspect of it.
Yeah, you can't.
I think eventually they get a reality check, and then they put on the hat, and they fall in line.
Get paid a lot of money to do.
Yeah.
You could Castellini this thing and just say, where are you going to go? We took you.
So mad when he said
he wasn't long and wrong. He was long and mostly right. Wow. Pretty good. Well done.
If you missed anything from our show, do not worry, because wherever you get your podcast, you can catch up. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Coming up on Common Man and Timmy. Got it right today. Common Man and Timmy. Jeff Rimmer joins the boys at 5:30.
Come back, talk to you tomorrow. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A Reds Hall of Famer made his debut on this date in 1930. One Bill Werber, who was a star on the Reds championship teams of 1939 and 1940. But Werber was not with the Reds when he broke in. He debuted with the Yankees. And as a young whippersnapper out of college, he was determined to impress his new team. Werber was on first base when his teammate Babe Ruth hit a long drive. Werber ran hard the whole way, dashing across the plate, only to realize Ruth had hit a home run. Ruth told him in the dugout later, "Son, you don't have to run so fast when the Babe hits one." Well, Billy Werber, Reds Hall of Famer, his debut game this June 25th, 1930, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Hey, it's Anthony. Comfort is king. We all strive for it, but life gets in the way. You know that. And oh, my aching feet is not just a cliche. That's why the Good Feet store, in my opinion, has the best arch support solutions engineered to help you and me live the life we love without pain. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put right into all my shoes. They support, balance, and strengthen my feet and really guide them right into their ideal position. Every step I take, every move I make, I get relief. Not from the song, although I love that, but from my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. Your free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort, your personalized system. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Get summer blockbuster savings at Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Right now, take up to $6,000 off MSRP on any new Kia in stock. Plus, get free maintenance for a full year when you buy. Get any new Kia with up to $6,000 off MSRP. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. 2025 Kia Sorento XY. MSRP $47,990. $3,000 Coghlan discount. $3,000 factory rebate. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N7725.
Dr. Marta Lavelle of Urbana and Darby Dental Smiles on having First Bank of Central Ohio as a partner.
It has been great working with First Bank of Central Ohio. They helped me achieve a huge goal, becoming a business owner. The bank made it so easy. They helped me through the whole process. It's been great ever since.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.